Thanks for that. What a good start. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Blizzard Comedy's broadcast Avalanche. Thank you all for joining. Let's see who we've got with us today. We've got Samatha Ecclestone. Hello, fancy seeing you here. We have Rock. Yeah. Hi, Rock. Yeah. Okay. I was about to ask who you were, and then Kirstie very nicely commented, "Hey, Charlie," afterwards. So either you got Sam's name really wrong, or your name is Charlie. So hey, Charlie, thanks for coming to the stream. We got Jonathan Moore. Howdy, lovely to see you. We've got Sapphire. Thanks very much for joining us. Richard Moore really enjoys your little tune, Sam. You already saw that. You said thank you. I forgot you can also read this. You wrote this 8 years ago. I thought you wrote this specifically for us. I don't know how I feel about this. Wow. Okay, fine. We're going to be having words about this. Yeah. That's fine. I mean, lucky for you, it works really well, so I'm happy with it. But yes, anyway, hello and welcome to another episode of Blizzard Comedy's broadcast Avalanche, the show that puts the Blizzard comedy into Blizzard Comedy's broadcast Avalanche. I'm really bad with introductions. I could like the actual bulk of the news jokes I can do, but like introducing myself, I'm terrible with. It's why, like, for 5 years I'm a stand-up, I used the same intro every night, which was fine until I started hosting a regular night, and then everyone can quote my own set back at me. Yes, in the news this month, Boris Johnson has refused to meet the COVID bereaved on account of their alleged legal litigations against the government. The COVID bereaved have in turn refused to meet Boris Johnson on account of him being Boris Johnson. The UK government breaks international law in their latest Brexit bill, which I'm sure will have precisely zero negative repercussions for us and our future relationships with Europe, the US, and indeed Ireland. But hey, at least we'll have our sovereignty back, and the poorest, most vulnerable starve to death due to botched trade negotiations and zero credibility on the international stage. Take that, Ramonas. The UK government... The government also plans to scrap the Gender Recognition Act reform on account of worrying that if people are allowed to self-ID their own gender, then CEOs are going to be confused on who they should be paying less. Schools in England have been told not to use any content from anti-capitalist groups in their teachings, which breaks our ambition of Blizzard comedy being brought into the national curriculum. Looks like my lessons plans on how to recognise political devolution into fascism early, how turfism actively harms women's rights movements, and the correct technique for punching Nazis safely are all but useless now. Also, a Wetherspoon chef was sacked for sharing behind-the-scenes footage on how the curries are cooked in the popular restaurant chain. I personally don't see what the company's worried about. Everyone's already seen behind-the-scenes evidence of how the company treats their own staff, and that hasn't put them off wanting a 4-pound curry prepared and ready to eat in less than 10 minutes. So I doubt that the revelation that obviously microwave meals are prepared in a microwave is going to put anyone off eating there. What else has happened this month? J.K. Rowling is she's still a TERF. I'm honestly tired of doing jokes about people who literally don't believe in my right to exist. So you don't get a punchline. Just fuck off, get in the sea. And finally, Dance Troupe Diversity have come under fire with nearly 25,000 complaints following their powerful interpretive performance of police brutality and the death of George Floyd on Britain's Got Talent. Communications regulator Ofcom made a statement saying that they will not be investigating the complaints, saying, did some little snowflakes get upset at some people doing a little dance on TV they didn't like? Didn't. Hey, I'll let you on a little secret. You know who I can't stand? Tess Daly and Claudia Winkleman. But you never see me complaining about fucking Strictly. Why? Because I'm a fucking adult and realize that TV is not centered around my own personal views and preferences. Grow up and stop being mad that Black Lives Matter just because yours clearly doesn't. For the sake of transparency, I did paraphrase that a little bit for the sake of content. I wouldn't want anyone to leave the stream under the impression that the fine people at Ofcom regulators handle this with anything other than the utmost professionalism required of an impartial regulator. So just so you know, for the record, what they actually said was, all cops are bastards, kill all white people. Which is much more respectful than anything I could say in a million years. And on the note of killing all white people, let's introduce the white people today. As always, we're joined by team captains Kirstie Summers and Thom B.
Hello.
I lost my place. And on Kirstie's team tonight, we have the genius Eryn Tett and star of Pope's addiction clinic, Pope Lonergan.
Hello.
Hello. And on Thom's team tonight, we have a goth comedian who is significantly less annoying than me, Katie Mitchell, and a white man called Jake Donaldson.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Thanks all for coming on the show. First of all, Kirstie and Thom, thanks for joining us again. Kirstie, you had a little bit of trouble getting on the stream today. So I'm very glad you actually managed to join us with your face.
Same, me too. I've got some visual bits coming up that I actually prepared for earlier, which is partly why I was so distraught, because I was like, I did not put actual effort in to a visual bit in order to my camera just to not want to work. So very relieved to be here.
Now you and Thom obviously do Social Distance Warriors. That's every Thursday.
Yes, it is.
What have you got coming up for us in the next couple of weeks?
So we have our usual show on Thursdays. We have our game show on Twitch where we play short, like one-shot RPG games on Twitch on Wednesdays, and then on the 5th and 12th of October we have our Grimfest live streams. Thom and I have been covering the Grimfest Horror Film Festival for Vampire Squid, which is a horror blog that a friend of mine runs. We've been watching some amazing films, and we're going to be like playing some horror themed games and talking about like the new generation of independent horror filmmakers on those streams. So that's our unique thing we're doing this time that isn't just the usual show.
Fantastic. Yeah, well, absolutely join into that. It's every Thursday, and is it every Wednesday you do the text-based games, or is that?
Yes, it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's every Wednesday. Yeah,
so if you've got nothing else to do on
Thom, maybe.
But sometimes someone's taking a nap, so we don't do it.
Yeah. Wonder
that wasn't a jab at you, Sam. It's been at least three of us.
Oh, thank God. Every time there's a slight technical hiccup now, I'm really worried that we're just going to lose Kirstie forever.
You see, I love the anticipation of it. I'm just like, oh, what's she going to say? It's like German, where the verb goes at the end of every sentence. Just like, oh, yeah.
Wonderful stuff. Thank you for joining us again. Eryn, lovely to have you on the show. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm all right. How are you?
Fantastic. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm really glad we were able to have you on the show. Obviously, you were going to be doing one of our live shows possibly this month. I can't remember when we had you booked.
Yeah, I think it was soon.
Yeah, it was definitely this part of the year. But yeah, I'm very, very glad to have you on our show in some capacity. So you, I believe, have some shows coming up at the end of the month?
In October, if the Brighton Fringe doesn't get cancelled again for a second time, I will be doing my show, Eryn Tett Finds Their Audience, at the Caxton Arms in Brighton. It's the 16th and 17th of October and the 30th of October.
Fantastic stuff. And if people are not able to get to Brighton or don't live around there, what else can they see you on? What else can they see you doing?
They can see me on the internet. On Instagram.
Really good invention now. If you're not on the internet, check it out.
I'm on the internet forever now, actually. So I probably will never leave the internet. YouTube, I have a YouTube channel and Instagram and Facebook as well. It's basically my name, Eryn Tett Comedy, and I'll be on all those places.
Fantastic. I believe the links are all in the description below as well if you want to check out more of Eryn's stuff, and you absolutely should. It's fantastic. Thank you for joining us. And Pope, nice to have you on the show. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Looking eagerly anticipating a second wave. That should be bracing. So,
I mean, you say anticipating as if like we weren't already in it.
Just more of the same.
Yeah. But, absolutely. I'm really glad to have you on the show. I think you were actually one of the first people we had applying to our first night back in April of 2019, and I couldn't fit you on then, and I just kept delaying it, and then the world ended. So I'm really sorry that we never managed to get you on our actual live shows.
You created a pandemic just as an excuse. I get the hint, mate. I get the hint.
Yeah. Wonderful stuff. Now you also have some shows coming up on this Sunday, I believe.
Yes, I've got Pope's Addiction Clinic at the Battersea Arts Centre this Sunday at 7:30 with brilliant acts, Helen Bauer, Lou Sanders, Mo Omar and Tony Law. And it's a confessional comedy show. So, that's this Sunday. And all, distance, social distance, very safe. And, it should be a lot of fun.
Fantastic stuff. And if people are not able to commute to that, you've also got a podcast, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, Pope Lonergan is Plimmin and Lompin. A podcast recommended by the amazing Stuart Lee. He's actually a fan of that. Recommended his newsletter. So download that. There's an episode where the first episode, an elderly care one, where I talked to a 98-year-old about how we'd like to be disposed of when we die. So quite opposite. Fantastic.
Fantastic stuff. So you can check that out. Like I say, links are all in the description below. So thank you very much for joining us, Pope. And Katie, lovely to have you on the show. How are you doing?
Hiya, I'm good. Comfy and happy to be here.
Good. Fantastic. We're happy to have you here. Nice to finally meet you as well, because you were someone who was on my radar for ages and people were telling me I should book. And then again, when I finally got around to doing it, the world decided to stop. So, it is really nice.
Like, oh, I would, but I've been meaning to book you, but just because of the thing, and I was going to do it before. It's amazing how much that happens.
I'm sure it's a coincidence. Are you also on the internet that Eryn was talking about earlier? Is this a thing you've heard of?
the what? No. I've got a podcast, which I started a few weeks ago with my friend Leslie Ewing-Burgess. We had a new episode come out today where we have a girls' night in. It's gender inclusive. It's just the concept of a girls' night in. Nice. We talk about our favourite films, we talk about boys, and I made a pillow fight RPG from scratch.
Oh, that sounds great.
Very long time, but it's very good.
That sounds fucking amazing. I'm going to check that out later. And that's a fun time with Katie and Leslie. Link is in the description below.
Yeah.
Katie. Do you want to come on our RPG show?
Do you want to play my RPG? I made it at 2 a.m. a few days ago. And
what are you doing on Wednesday?
Not balanced.
What are you doing on Wednesday?
Yeah.
Do you want to wait till we finish our current show before you start booking your shows?
Yes.
You're not.
Let's do that.
Someone will do it.
This is how we put, hey, did you like this? Well, one of the guests from this has now been booked for ours.
This is also how we come up with what we're going to do. Someone says something and we go, oh, let's do that. And then we say it in front of people and then we have to follow through.
We haven't had a guest on our podcast. It's just Katie and Leslie, but if you want to, I don't know, put on a black wig and pretend to be me, you can go on with Leslie until you won't notice.
Yes.
Fuck it. Does anyone else want to do any booking while we're chatting here? Sam's available for any stream it needs. Not that any of you heard that, but I didn't need to repeat it, but I did. It's not as if anyone in the actual chat. I mean, you might run your own things, in which case I definitely recommend Sam. She's very good at this sort of thing. Thank you very much, Katie. A bit off topic there, but that's definitely worth checking out. And last but not least, Jake, how are you doing?
Hi, yeah, I'm all right, thank you. How are you?
Oh, yeah, we still talk to Jake, don't we?
The Jake bashing has started already from Tom B. I'm on your team, Tom.
I know. It works to our advantage. We have the most white men, so we get 20% more points.
I forgot about that, yeah.
Wonderful stuff. So, Jake, you are a white man. Tell us about your podcast.
Oh, yeah, I am a white man. I do have a podcast, and it's about Star Trek. So, buckle yourselves up for light speed chat. I do a podcast with two other comedians. One of them is not a man, so we've got that going for us. It's called Red Shirts, and we look at a different episode of Star Trek every week, but it's made for people who have never seen Star Trek before and know nothing about Star Trek, so you will enjoy it. We mostly just talk about which aliens we think are the sexier of the aliens, and that's mainly the chat that goes down.
And it's always Jadzia Dax.
It is always Jetsy attacks, yeah. So no, that's it. Yeah, so it's called Red Shirts. You can get that on all the normal podcast things. Actually, was recommended by Richard Herring. So
nice.
Not quite as good as Pope's, but
got a Leanne Herring endorsed podcast on the show. That's really good.
That was also a lie.
Did you make up a fact just for the sake of a joke?
Yeah, I'm a white comedian. What do you think I'm doing?
That's literally a game we play in the show, Jonny.
That doesn't make it right.
No, it makes it alt-right.
Right,
no,
wonderful.
I don't care.
Well, now that we've met everyone and everyone else has plugged their own shows and booked them as well, let's get on with the show. So we're starting off this game with fake news detectives, assuming that's what Sam's got first. Otherwise, I will bend to her wills. This teams are going to be given 3 different headlines. 2 of them were actual headlines that were printed. What's the putting online equivalent of printing? Published. Yeah.
Stop the print.
Two of these headlines that have been published on various news sources. One of them is a fake one I have made up, and their job is to guess which one the fake one is. So we've got Kirstie's team going first. Your 3 headlines are as follows. Pensioner wiped out village's broadband for 18 months by turning on an old TV. Man jailed after repeatedly calling police to complain that Ant McPartlin was on TV. And crowdfunder for Nigel Farage to just fuck off reaches 100k pounds in half an hour. All right, what do you think?
I feel like I definitely saw the Ant McPartlin one somewhere.
You did, because I sent it.
Thom ruining the game.
I was gonna say, I couldn't for definitely tell you it wasn't on the Hard Times, but also I feel like Jonny wouldn't have included it if it was on the Hard Times.
No, I would not. As much as I want to a lot of the time.
I could believe the Nigel Farage one. But I don't know if Jonny's put that in there as wishful thinking.
I mean, I don't really want Nigel Farage to get £100,000. Even if he is going to fuck off,
it's just pocket money to him now, isn't it?
Oh wait, so was the crowdfunder for the £100,000 to give it to Nigel Farage as a bribe to fuck off, or was it let's just buy a bunch of air horns and chase him away like he was a goose? Because
I feel like you could probably do the latter without investing quite so much money.
How much are air horns? Air horns are cheap. They're very cheap. The problem is I live in an area that is very, unfortunately, pro-Brexit. I come from Essex. I come from an area that actually people congregated to try and see Nigel Farage. So I'm kind of immersed in the Nigel Farage-loving part of England, unfortunately. So... I think most people probably want him to fuck off now, don't they? I mean, even if you love Nigel Farage, you still kind of want him to fuck off. That's how fuck offable he is. Even if you really like the man, love everything he does, loves the funky cufflinks, love his lovely fat ties, you still kind of want him to fuck off. So I think what was the first one again?
Pensioner wiped out villagers' broadband for 18 months by turning on old TV.
I think that's the lie.
I feel like the Nigel Farage one must be the lie, though, because our echo chambers on Facebook would have showed us that petition.
Yeah.
That's
we're not
true.
getting away with that. How many people are on our Facebook? Somebody would have shared it. It would have reached us somehow.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's just my point.
I wasn't aware broadband could be wiped out by turning on an old TV, and also that it wouldn't come back for 18 months. I get annoyed if my broadband is out for 18 minutes. Like,
Maybe that's what went wrong with your camera. Maybe someone just turned on an old TV in your flat building.
I think I'm going to find out who it is and just be really annoying outside the house because I'm not good at taking vengeance.
So I don't understand technology. That's the thing. I don't get I mean, the extent of my knowledge on technology is like a kid called Paxton I used to go to school with who like sucked on batteries. And I know that sucking on batteries ain't good for you. It chipped his tooth. So that is the extent of my knowledge on technology. Other than that, I don't really know. Wouldn't an old TV, it wouldn't be a smart TV, would it? So it wouldn't be connected to broadband or whatever.
I wouldn't have thought so, no.
Yeah, I think that's the line.
That really took everybody out, that one.
Okay. So have we still not come to a consensus?
No.
We're still
I'm willing to
we've not come to a consensus.
I'm willing to cede the floor over to both of you. I'm willing to go with your judgment on this.
I'm going to back Pope on that, and I will also put it over to you.
And then what I will do is I'll get it and then put it right back over to you.
That's next door to the Battle Brothers.
I feel like Eryn makes a very good point that I feel like the Nigel Farage crowdfunder would have come my way before now. but I also don't know how an old TV would like wipe out a whole village's broadband, or that it would go on for 18 months without having heard of it by this point. Because that must have happened at least 18 months ago, right?
Yeah, if it's been gone up.
But how would they report it? Their broadband's been out.
By sucking on batteries, apparently. That's, that works, apparently. Yeah. I don't know. I suppose, Kirstie, you've probably got the.
Oh no! Don't go to me on this one. I never get this point.
I have complete faith in you.
You should.
I have 50%.
You absolutely. You should.
I have 42% faith in you.
Richard Morris says he knows the answer to this one, so can't comment. So before one of you weasels it out of him, I'm going to need an answer.
Kirstie, stop it.
Definitely not messaging Richard.
I saw that.
You say that whilst you put Richard mate text me on the chat. Knowing full well that I'm looking at it. Such a bad cheater.
I feel like go with your instinct then. Your instinct was broadband. So
I think
go with it.
I've just had a text message saying, "Are you allowed audience help?"
No. Unless you text me too.
He was very stressed before the podcast.
Okay.
One, and then we can go back.
Okay, I think I might be leaning towards the broadband just because 18 months is a long time for this story not to have come up at all for me. I feel like maybe enough news has been going on that Nigel Farage fuck off might have passed me by. But 18 months, if an old TV, I just don't know. I'm sorry.
What's your answer?
Let's do TV.
TV, yeah, the TV one.
You're going for the TV?
Yeah.
You are incorrect. It was Nigel Farage. The pensioners. The old TV thing. Apparently, certain electrical pulses from old TVs can disrupt the way broadband connections work. I don't quite understand how, but also to point out. Yeah, I should point out it wasn't they turned on the TV once and that decimated the internet for 18 months. It was just like. For 18 months, this had been going on. And they weren't sure what the issue with the broadband was. And then they came to investigate and were like, oh, yeah, this TV's causing issues. That's what they said anyway. Maybe they were just pinning the blame on someone. I don't know. But
pin the blame on the pensioner who doesn't know enough about broadband to be able to say it definitely isn't me.
But yeah, the crowdfunder for Nigel Farage to just fuck off was actually not for Nigel Farage to fuck off. It was actually for the Tories to just fuck off. Which, if anything, is better because that's much better value for money in terms of people fucking off. So no points for Kirstie's team then. Now we're on to Thom's team. Thom, your three headlines are Salon banned from using the word happy in job ad.
Good.
Do I need to read the others, or are you going to go with that one just because you wanted to be? Oh, no. Man sells 20-year-old Lego Bionicle collection to buy house. And
Jonny, you can't write stories about yourself. Come on.
I'm not a man.
Yeah, okay, fair. Sorry.
And Bristol Silent Disco banned for being too noisy.
Good.
I mean, I've been to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, and I know how loud silent discos can be.
Yep.
So I'm willing to believe that a silent disco has been cancelled for being too loud.
Oh, that particular one as well. Where there's like with the air horns, you just like do a dance with us, and it's going to be fun. And it's always in the way of cars, but unfortunately not cars that will hit them.
They should be cancelled for being too loud, just in terms of the colours they wear.
Yeah. But when was this? Because surely there's no way to socially, even though it's silent, there's no way to socially distance. I can't imagine anything worse than a silent and socially distance.
Well, that's just running.
Music party. Yeah.
Just going for a jog with your headphones on.
Yeah, it's running on the spot. It's doing that one.
Yeah.
Aerobics is what it is.
What was it? What was the other one? There was what about?
So
Bionicle.
The 20-year-old man said no. The person, 20-year-old man, was it selling a Bionicle collection to?
Yeah, I should put out if you just open the YouTube video, you can see them like in front of you. But I'll read them again if you want. So it's salon banned from using the word happy in job ad.
Good.
Man sells 20-year-old Lego Bionicle collection to buy a house, and Bristol Silent Disco banned for being too noisy.
Cool.
I kind of believe Bionicle. I know a lot of those old things are quite expensive, and Lego is so popular.
I mean, I used to collect Bionicles, right? And so I, first of all, take objection with you referring to them as old things.
Well, you are, so I wouldn't maybe.
Well, I'm not that. I'm 27 years old, Tom.
I'm not against Bionicle.
How are you younger than me? What went wrong in your life, Jake?
It's a combination of me having a hard life and also having a harder life than you.
I'm quite privileged, that's fair.
No, I used to collect them, and I tried to sell all of mine recently. This would be a way to win the quiz, wouldn't it? If one of the answers was about me, I just kept that secret for the entire thing.
This is my new house, which I'm filming from now.
If I just got a Bionicle set up in the background, and it's like, this is the only one I've got left. It's I know about Bionicles, and I don't think that's the nerdiest thing I've ever said in my life.
I know about Bionicle.
And you have a podcast about Star Trek.
I have a podcast about Star Trek, and I'm sat in front of a cardboard cutout of Spider-Man. I don't think you would make enough to buy a house by selling old Bionicles, because I don't think, because if you tried
many.
Well, I suppose,
if there
but
are any little ones with defects on. I've been researching. I've got some Harry Potter first editions, which I'm obviously getting rid of. And some of them are worth a few £100, which is going straight into a trans person's FFS fund or top surgery or whatever. But you can have it. Yeah, one Order of the Phoenix is worth 100, and then two others are worth 50. So I'm going to pay and do this gig, and that's
a whole pound for a bigoted view.
Yeah.
Well, how much is a house going to cost you? How many Bionicles do you reckon a house will cost?
If you listen to my parents, about 50 quid and a pack of cigarettes.
I reckon
it's more expensive to buy a house or buy Bionicles and then make a house out of Bionicles.
Yes. Yes.
James made that Lego house that one time.
I mean, no, but yes.
Oh, the Bionicle house would have too many holes in it. Oh no, that's Meccano. I'm thinking of Meccano.
No, it just have lots of moving parts.
Yeah, Bionicle house would have little things that jump out.
I can have a posable house. Just
posable house.
Oh, the Jehovah's Witnesses are on the way. Quick, put it in the fighting position.
Tom, I thought you said an opposable house, and I was like, that's just the House of Lords.
Anyway, we've got off topic.
Sorry, yeah.
What was the other one?
Salon banned the word salon banned from using the word happy in job ad.
Okay.
I reckon that's true.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah,
they're miserable fucking places, aren't they? So it is like false advertising.
What kind of salon do you think it is?
I think it's a hair salon, but with like all the visors and stuff. So it's really quite depressing.
Yeah, I was thinking like, oh no, that's a saloon. I was like, you can't ban the word happy from it. I'd be happy to be in a saloon.
I'd fucking love a
way to go through those doors and not be happy.
Exactly, those doors are the doors of happiness. Those saloon doors.
You know when you walk into the saloon and the piano, like the pianist stops playing piano and everyone just turns around. It's just because they're really happy and they don't know what to do.
They're like, yeah, we've got another guy for our party.
Wait, can you say that you're not happy? Is that still not like? Is that not all right? Oh, no, it's in John. What am I on about? I just thought it was the word happy. I thought it was like a Sam Smith pub where you can't say certain words.
Well, the Sam Smith's pub, you aren't allowed to be happy in.
No, you're not. No, yeah. That's
are they the ones that ban electronics as well?
Electronic swearing.
I was actually told to be quiet in a Sam Smith like Wednesday.
I've drank with you. I tell you to be quiet. That's like you're very rowdy, Kirstie.
Because there's one. I live in York, and there's a Sam Smith's pub near me in York, and they've banned swearing.
Yeah.
But then they serve like real ales that are called things like Yellow Bastard and stuff like that. Like how can you order those drinks? I'll have a pint of atomic piss, please. Well, you can, but you'll have to drink it outside, mate.
You have to put the asterisks in. Like,
yeah. You've got.
You have to go. Oh, excuse me. Could I have a pint of?
Yeah, you've got to carry an app on your phone.
No, you're not allowed your phones either.
Oh shit! Yeah, you've got to use that air horn. You steal the air horn.
Carry a gramophone with you and just pre-record a sound.
You know what? The guy who
carry a small bit of black card just to put over your mouth.
Well, you have to do that nowadays anyway.
Right, I might need to hurry you a little bit because we've been on this for far longer than we should have been.
Bionicle. I'm going to say Bionicle's fake.
Really?
Yeah, look at Bionicle.
These people do not represent the views of the entire team.
Bionicle community.
It's not. It must be.
You were the one who was convincing us it was fake.
Hang on, are we supposed to? Are we? Hang on, are we choosing the fake one or the real one?
You are guessing the fake one, yes.
Oh right, okay, sure, yeah, Bionicle, go for it.
Right. Bionicle.
You are correct. You are correct. It is the Bionicle one.
Yes.
That is the fake one.
Take that, Kirstie.
Shut up! We all know all the points are in the last round anyway. This doesn't mean shit.
Which I'm very good at. Very good at.
Yeah. Jake was entirely right. Unfortunately, a complete Bionicle connection is unlikely to net you enough to put a deposit down on a house. However, if you do have a house, if you sell that, you can complete a Bionicle collection really easily. So just a little top tip for any homeowners in our audience, which, judging our primary demographic, is not many.
When I try and buy a house, I might just like try and negotiate it down, but throw in a Bionicle set just for to sweeten the deal.
Yes, I love it. Also, Thom, I should draw your attention to Richard Moore commented saying we've got doors. That's already an opposable house. So just letting you know your joke didn't actually work.
Don't tell you when your jokes don't work.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I do actually.
but
it's always with love.
I mean, it's rare that my jokes don't work, so we're fine.
Yeah, you say so, Jonny. You say so.
Yeah, even I don't believe that. Our next round is no context. This is our picture round. You'll be shown some pictures from the news over the past month without any descriptive context. Points are awarded for the team to guess a news story the picture is referring to. So I will just send over the first picture now. Sam, it's the one with the robot. Yep, cool. Good, we've got it in the right order this time. Good. This is the first time, and I actually got it. Oh no, I did queue it up, and then it fucked off. Oh no. Hang on, it's coming. I mean, it's already in the chat, but there we are. Oh, okay. Well, Sam beat me to it by like a second. Right, here's the picture. What do you think is happening here?
I know that Pope works in care homes, so I'm assuming that this is the Pope Lonergan 1000. That word better written down.
Comedian forgets to move mic stand out of the way so we can see him.
Oh shit!
Can I just say for this photo, right? I'm frustrated, right? The robot. He's making someone laugh, and that person laughing happens to be an elderly person. This robot is nicking my shtick, and in this economy as well. Damn him! Yeah.
It's putting you out of both of your jobs.
I know.
The story is CBBC receives complaints about Barry's replacement on the new version of Chucklevision.
This is actually the last photo we have of my granddad before we sold him for strap.
Which one is he?
Man sits on spike next to incidental robot.
Lady Ravenside 13 says, "Ooh, I know what's happening here." So, I mean, good.
Will Smith furious at decision to replace him with late Ronnie Barker in iRobot reboot?
Oh, I'd watch the shit out of that.
The BBC is trying to save money by teaching androids how to recite all of Burning Man's material instead of hiring more right-wing comedians.
Robot reveals breasts during new android exotic dancing show. Wire strippers.
Oh god!
Like, I don't want that to be funny, but like that robot has like got very obvious hips, so
yeah,
like you're probably right.
You know, that joke I did before this is actually the last photo of my granddad. It was before we gave him his dying wish, which was to see some robot tits.
No, he said robotics, Tom.
Yeah. Nice bit of repartee, guys.
Is it robot catches shapeshifter halfway between armchair and old man?
Right. Does anyone know what's actually going on here?
Yeah, the Daily Mail has reported that they're trying to find new things for us to be scared of, so they've finally settled on robots. Is it robots now work in care homes, or robots might be able to work in care homes in the future, but we're not sure. Probably not. However, it's a very dark time right now, so we're trying to give people happy news that they can be like, oh, old people are cute, and also robots are fucking awesome. I love Transformers. Yeah, the world's not on fire.
It annoys me because I've worked in elderly care for 9 years, and I've turned the changing of an incontinence pad into like a Japanese tea ceremony, and fucking robots think they should come in and just take it off of me. I'm not putting up with it. And I know it is about robot care because I have actually seen this. They're starting to outsource care work to these new robots, which is madness. Is that the answer?
More or less, it's robots to be used in UK care homes to help reduce loneliness. So I don't know if they're strictly going to be used for actually working and doing those kind of tasks. The article says that they're not planned to replace humans, but that's how they all say. That's what they all say.
It's just
like it feels less like they're like replacing the current staff than like replacing like the elderly people's children who can't be bothered to come visit, which is much sadder.
I feel like that's probably what they're going for. Yeah,
sadder.
I feel
and
like
probably very expensive. This is just rich people are outsourcing talking to their own parents.
I feel like it's like, oh, we're going to get humans to do the personal care, but robots for the banter.
I think it's like what you know when like rich parents send their kids off to boarding school so they don't have to deal with it. That this is their revenge.
Like, what do you need me to come visit? What do you need me to come visit you for? I bought you a robot to talk to.
Yeah, my mum has literally said that to me about Alexa.
Well,
Wonderful
you can buy her one of these robots when she's in a care home and be like, "This is your new friend, Alexa 2."
I'm not going to put her in a care home.
The robot's actually called Pepper. I don't have a joke.
Oh, we all like it now. We know its name. That's why you don't give things names.
That's why I still refer to you as white comedian.
All right, the Scotsman.
Right, yeah,
not Scotland.
I'm going to give Pope the point for that one because he was closest. Next picture, please. I'm going to send that over to the axe now.
Well,
there we are. Okay, what do you think's happening here?
This is gameplay footage from Metal Gear 6, Solid Jesus Snake.
Snake strangles man until face no longer visible.
I can't see any of these, but I'm just going along with what everybody's saying. It's kind of come up on this one thing now. Okay.
Is it sex with non-house if you're in an established relationship within a bubble or whatever this is, says Helpman.
Snake fined for not respecting social distancing.
Man sitted this motherfucking virus on this motherfucking bus.
along the same lines, Samuel L. Jackson furious at decision to replace him with late Ronnie Barker in Snakes on a Plane reboot.
I was gonna say because his face is blurred, he just looked like he could be the same man that was amused by the robot earlier.
Is the snake saying, "I've had it up to here with these motherfucking faces on this motherfucking bus"?
Is this a new social distancing tactic? Like, if you carry a snake around with you, people will keep the fuck away.
No, but that was the joke I was going to tell after we'd wrapped up the crowds.
It's similar to mine, which is like this is just a man with a 4-meter snake which will bite or fart on anyone who comes too close.
This is a photo of my future, just chilling on a bus with a snake.
Of course, snakes can fart.
Kirstie, I thought you were going to say this is a snapshot of my future, just chilling on a bus strangling men.
Yeah, that too.
Is it strict new fines and punishments implemented for people who put their bags on the seat next to them on buses?
I think he has got his bag next to him there.
Is it man has arm surgically replaced with snake?
I mean, with NHS cutbacks, it's all they can afford.
You say that's all they can afford. That must be an expensive procedure to replace an arm with a live snake.
No, you just use shit snakes.
Yeah.
Just cost on the snakes. Get them wholesale.
No, the richer you are, the better snake you get. Like, if you're just like a pleb like us, you get like a little corn snake.
Oh, whoa, a pleb like us.
And if you're Jafar, you can have one of those magic cobras with hypnotisy eyes.
I'm just laughing at the image of a person who's just got no arm but one tiny corn snake.
I've just got a fucking worm, mate.
Just as your little finger. But if you cut it in half, you get 2 limbs. So.
It's magic to it.
Limbs don't do that.
This just
the caption, can't breathe in a mask. Try this python wrapped around her neck, you selfish fuck.
Do you know what? You're not that far off. I might give you that.
Is it snake takes pet human on bus?
Yeah. Is it not the weirdest thing I've seen on Manchester Transport?
Is it
you can't pass COVID when you're dead / eaten by giant snake?
The problem I have with this picture is whenever I click on that X, it doesn't go away.
Is it the new Jungle Book faces Superman 3 levels of cutbacks and has to be filmed in Milton Keynes?
I would watch that though, like a DIY Jungle Book. Sounds like
no, it didn't work for Superman. It won't work for the Superman.
Has it actually got nothing to do with the snake? Is it just man has nice watch?
Yeah.
Is it just a
snake? There's definitely something up with his face in this photo.
Is it a new
found the photo as well? So
is it man gets fined for taking snake on bus as an act of protest against masks?
Between you and Katie are basically there, so I'm going to give you that point. What this is
number 5.
A snake used as a face mark on masks on bus. So this story about a man in Swinton, which is where I live now. Just thrown out there, being told that he wasn't allowed to use a live snake in place of a mask as a face covering.
That's
what happened there.
And that's just a lie. That's just a lie by Big Snake so that we'll buy more Big Snakes.
I accidentally mute myself, so I didn't hear any of what you just said. What?
I believe you've also moved. Sam, I think Johnny's moved. Oh, what? Oh, the dream.
That is amazing. Right, yes, I'm going to give the point to Tom's team for that one. So at the end of that round, Tom's team has 4 points, Kirstie's team has 1.
Team dancing with Sad Jake.
Yeah. Wonderful stuff. We are going to have a break now. So we'll be back in about 15 minutes or so. I say we'll be back. We'll still be here chatting shit. But if you want to go get a drink or go to the loo, feel free to go and do that. That goes for acts as well. I'm just going to be here with whoever is left over, hopefully not talking about Star Trek. So it was. Oh, and at this point, I should remind you, because I forgot to say at the top of the show, this is a pay what you want gig. Obviously, like, we're not. I mean, I wouldn't know how to go about charging people entrance to this kind of show, but even if we could, we wouldn't do, because that's not what we do. So if you do want to support the show, you can donate to us via PayPal, which is in the YouTube description, and you can also subscribe to us on Patreon, which the acts on this show get a cut of every month. So go have a wee now. Do it. I want pictures. I want proof. Because you're not going later in the show.
This isn't the Blizzard
only.
Whoever
has the highest milliliters gets extra.
Yeah.
I was like, get some drink, but it's not a normal gig. So.
On that note, I am going to get a drink, so I'll be back in a second.
Like, if we all became famous, speaking of dancing, if we all became like famous comedians, who'd do Strictly? I'd do Strictly. I'd love to do
doing
Strictly.
dancing on ice.
Oh, nice.
I want to be trained how to ice skate by like Olympians. I don't care about dancing. I just want to ice skate. Even like if I go home in the first week, I've got 6 weeks of being paid to learn how to ice skate.
I love dancing on ice. I mean, I love Strictly as well. I watch it with my mum whenever it's on. But like dancing on ice is like it's all the joy of Strictly, but with like added potential for gore.
Yeah,
it's like it's fun dancing, but also someone could split their head open, and chances are it's a right-wing celebrity I'm not too keen on. So, like, leave her hate from Steps alone, but like, you know, Katie Hopkins, she's ever on it.
What about H from Steps?
Oh, he's a lovely boy, and I hope that he doesn't get hurt when he ice skates.
I really want to do the one where they grab you by the ankles and spin you around.
Oh, that's so fun!
Like Mario and what's his face, Bowser.
Or like when like they cross the legs like behind your neck like that. It's like woo,
yeah,
and it's like Titanic only with skates. Although there was a lot of ice in Titanic, so it is like Titanic.
Yeah, I don't see why they just skate their way out of there.
Just surf the iceberg home. I would have solved everything. Jonny, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm just having a look at some of the comments here. Dylan asked, what number bus was it? I don't know. It was a bus that goes through Swinton. So let's try and work it out through process of elimination.
I didn't know how you were Swindon based. Dylan's Swindon based.
It may very well have been 22.
On the chat, but
I will actually see if it said in the article because I only skimmed it. Now I can't find it. Let's have a look.
Sorry about that.
What?
I said sorry about I muted myself because I was trying to convince Kat to buy me some work shoes when she goes to Sainsbury's.
That's fine. No, the article doesn't specify what bus it was.
What buses do go through Swinton?
Let's have a look.
Oh, right, no, easy. This is some 37 bullshit.
Then deal or no deal again. We came back and you were rattling off numbers.
We're trying to guess what bus the face mask incident was on.
How is living in Swinton, Jonny?
Yeah, it's good. I like it. It's nice. It's much quieter. We're on Swinton. We're like right on the edge of Clifton, which is like the posh area. So I say posh, the slightly richer area.
I saw a bunch of old friends yesterday, and we're all like, "Oh, it's so nice that now we're getting to an age we've settled, and none of us live in the city centre anymore, and it's much more.
Yeah. I am glad I don't live in the city centre yet.
Yeah, no, it's like it took me a while to get used to, but no, I love it now. Wouldn't go back.
No, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I liked it for how near it was to like things, but wasn't really worth it in the long run.
I liked being close to things, and then I moved to Waterloo, which is right by all the things, and then all the things got cancelled.
So it's your fault.
Luckily, I live in York, where there are no things.
Oh, you've got some cracking bars.
I mean, not right now.
Yeah, I've got one local pub that I can go to at the minute, because we're not under lockdown or anything in York at the minute, but I'm obviously not an idiot, so I'm not going into town.
Yeah.
But I've got, one local pub that me and my girlfriend go to, and we've just started getting absolutely smashed there every night.
Okay, classy. What other comments?
From inner city Nottingham to slightly on a different road, inner city Nottingham. So it's a lot of faff for about 3 minutes walk.
Whereabouts in inner city Nottingham?
So right now I live literally opposite Rock City. And
okay.
We're moving to a bit further down the road than Rock City. Not to talk to myself, but
like Rock Suburbs.
Rock Suburbs.
Rock Suburbs. Rock Commuters Belt.
Yeah.
Can I just draw attention to Andrew Taylor's comments that I missed? Andrew Taylor has apparently actually met Pepper twice. So I feel like we need to investigate this more. How did that happen, Andrew?
Was Pepper the robot?
Pepper was the robot. Yeah, sorry. I should have prefaced that with context. Andrew, have you also met the snake?
I love that you said, like, how did that go, Andrew? Can we have some more information? And then, like, waited for an answer. Like, we have to wait 20 seconds for him to hear that and then write an answer.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I was just going to remain silent. He might not even be. He might have gone off to the loo. I don't even know if he could hear what we said.
How was
he's going to come back and we're going to be going, Andrew, come on, and he's not been there the whole time.
Yeah.
How is Pepper spelled in the context of the name of the robot? Is it spelled like?
It's spelled as the seasoning thing.
Oh right.
I forgot what it was called.
It doesn't.
So
sound
is it
like
not like an acronym?
Yeah, I thought it would be like PEPA or something like that. Like that just sounds more like a robot thing.
I don't think it's an acronym. Let's have a look.
Jonny, earlier you were saying that we're like going on for too long, but we are currently massively like behind time.
We are, yeah. That's good.
Yeah, this is fucking amazing for a show that me and Thom are involved in.
Yeah,
and me. I mean, you remember what my interview went like when we did Social Distance Warriors?
Yeah, that's why it's not up yet.
So much libel.
I've not said anything about ongoing murder investigations yet on the air, and I've
please don't, because this is a live show.
Yeah, I know. I've not got into any legal details of cases I used to work when I was a lawyer.
That's why you look so old. There we go.
I really do want to do a show one time. Like, when you're on your deathbed, can we just do a big show of, like, Jake says all the libel?
Oh, yeah. Jake Donaldson presents allegedly.
Andrew's replied. He said once I was at the Science Museum, there was a thing about robots, and then once the robot turned up at work, just in the corridor.
I want more context, because like if they work
Timmy Schmidt,
because if they work in a care home and it's there for like that reason, fair enough. But if they work in like HMV and it's just turned up to buy
HMV doesn't have corridors.
Robots need breaks as well, man. They get weekends.
Yeah, but doodle.
I also think robots definitely wouldn't buy physical storage media. Like, they're not like yeah, Andrew, where do you work? A bit more context on that.
How many peppers do you think you could use to buy a house?
Probably one. I imagine they're quite expensive.
Depends how nice you want your house to be.
Yeah,
it's just a big Bionicle, though, isn't it?
Oh, hang on. Actually, no.
It's just a big Bionicle.
Oh, okay. No, actually, they're not that expensive. A single robot loaded with software costs about 19 grand, so you would need a fair few to get. Like,
how much is a house? I don't know.
Well, house or flat? Because this place was 86 grand, and that was quite cheap. So you'd probably need about 4 of them really to get like a modest size flat.
Are you just buying the robot, or are you getting the subscription contract that comes with it that includes a network, data plan, and equipment insurance? That is how they're sold. So you have to pay about $360 a month over 36 months, making the cost of one robot about $14,000, including all of that while you're paying it off.
Right.
There's so many
they just pay me like £7 an hour to do this.
I was just going to say, here it says a single robot of software costs about 19 grand, about 1 grand more than the average salary of a care worker in Southeast England.
Mate, it's unbelievable. Like I had to write an article for Navarro Media, which comes out tomorrow. And I said, so I was in Phil Ellis's show in Edinburgh. And I was part of that to dress up as a shit clown. I had to come on and pretend to suck off a trombone, and then I got shot dead. And I got paid £2.50 more per hour doing that than keeping an elderly person alive. It's like the insanity of this is of how underpaid these key workers are is madness. But there we go.
Fucking ridiculous. Andrew's got back again. He said this was at the BBC, which makes it less weird, but not weird. Again, no idea why there was a robot. I assume maybe for some kind of feature. I don't know. Sam, you know everything that happens in the BBC. What's going on? It was you. Oh, you were the robot.
Andrew, I don't think you're allowed.
Papa was inside her all along.
Andrew, I don't think you're allowed to say it was weird because employees of the BBC are no longer allowed to express their views online.
Was the robot had the robot turned up to interview for the Director General job? Because it would still make better decisions about comedy programming than the person who actually got the job.
The robot is just fed up of left-wing bias in BBC comedy. That is another only right-wing comedian, Pepper.
He's got a microchip on his shoulder.
Well, nice, very nice. Well, to be honest, it wouldn't surprise me until what some people, because there is an issue. I don't know much about it, but there is an issue of like something about trying to machine learning can generate racism because everything's horrible. I think Sam knows a lot more about it than me, but there's definitely something about racist AIs out there.
Oh yeah, did you see something on Twitter with facial recognition?
Yeah.
Where they had so Zoom background changer doesn't work with like dark skin tones, and the guy complained about it on Twitter, and it just completely cropped out the non-white guy.
Did you see that all of them were doing that? And it was even like Lenny and Carl. It would show you Lenny rather than Carl. And they had one where it was like Joe Biden and Barack Obama, and it always showed Joe Biden. And they had one where it was like Joe Biden and 5 Barack Obamas, and it still showed Joe Biden.
But wasn't they saying, I don't know, on Twitter, there's something about the algorithm is skewed in favour of positivity, and apparently it's something to do with the smile. So they had a picture of Barack Obama looking actually quite solemn, and then one of Joe Biden or Mitch McConnell was one I saw, but Mitch McConnell was smiling, Barack Obama wasn't. So I don't know, I've got 2 viewpoints that it was a racist algorithm on Twitter, and then another person saying no, it's just skewed in favour of positivity on facial expressions.
You need to do a control on that with like a smiling white person and an angry white person, then a smiling black person, and then a
like it's not a fair.
There's multiple variables.
Yeah, there's not a controlled experiment that way. Yeah.
Sam, is your mic on, or do we have to repeat you? I just feel like we're all going to be sitting here very attentive, like, yes, good point, Sam, and everyone at home is just like, what the fuck?
Oh no, but that's but Sam's half of the conversation is for Patreon supporters only.
Sam's like our Neris.
Informed tech knowledge. Go to Patreon.
Right, I think everyone's back now. We can resume with the show. Yes. So next round is this just in. So this is a round where I give each team the first line of a news story, and they have to carry on line by line, person by person, or how they think it should carry on from there. So we're going to start with Kirstie's team. Kirstie, do you have a preference for what order your team goes in?
No. Team, do you have a preference?
Do what we practice.
So it was, I think it was Kirstie, Pope, then Eryn. So we'll do it that way.
Exactly.
So Kirstie, your line is: an angry pensioner is demanding a pub bench be removed after he hurt himself tripping over it.
Good.
The pub is in a tricky situation because on the one hand they don't want to spend the money to remove the bench, but on the other hand they have been telling their less than minimum wage staff that the customer is always right, so they're really not sure how to play it.
It was briefly thought that this was another example of bench on bench crime because the old guy is quite a stocky fella and quite wooden and rigid, so they assumed he was a bench getting beaten up by another bench. But in fact, he was just an old creaky fella. So, improv, not my forte, but new Eryn.
It's the creaky fella that we're on about, the bench on bench crime, which everybody, we all know about that because that makes sense. So I'll continue with what the story was of the bench on bench crime. I've completely forgotten what we started with immediately. I'm just on bench crime now. They made lots of posters to try and... it turned into like an illegal fight club, basically, is what happened with the benches. Down in the pub, down in the basement, where you usually have comedy, but that's been cancelled now. So it just turned into an old man beating up a bench angrily.
Yeah.
But the allegations of bench on bench crime has initiated an investigation into the bench community, and SWAT teams will be looking at high bench population areas for incidents of drug dealing.
And the drug of choice for the bench is WD-40 and a decking stainer. I don't know what else. But varnish. Do you varnish a bench? They varnish. They like varnishing. And the old man at this point said, I taken a step back from the fight club. Wasn't my scene. I found it to be very rowdy. Lots of what's it called? Splinters. Lots of splinters. So I hope this is a problem that we can, we can get sorted, because it really is a blight on our society.
I do my input on the order of this now. We can reach it. At the end of the day, the bench drug problem is still at an all-time high. The man who has stopped fighting has finally found some inner peace. He's actually taken up varnish himself, and now it's turned into a big old man problem, because that's what he's spread into the old man community. And now we have a varnish drug problem with old men.
I'm going to end that there. Thank you very much. Yeah. I have no idea what happened there, but I thoroughly enjoyed that. Okay, Tom's team. Tom, who wants to go first?
Battle Royale. Who wants to go first?
I will.
Jake. Cool.
We'll go Jake, then Tom, then Katie. So your first line is: the Germans and Italians are too timid to die in the kind of numbers we are, explains the Prime Minister.
Lived in Germany, they're fucking not.
So it was the Germans and what, the Italians?
Yep, are too timid to die in the kind of numbers we are, explains the Prime Minister.
Okay. He went on to explain that although the Germans and Italians were too timid to die in the numbers that we are, the French are particularly adept at dying, and therefore he salutes them, and then he said, "Next person." The system, mate.
And then he said that he would go on to explain his reasoning, and that, of course, was that that German is a notoriously quiet language, so therefore there would be no spreading of the germs by shouting, and Italian is just glorified sign language, so therefore everybody was socially distanced.
But it's not like that in France. They're dying by the hundreds. We love the French, said Boris Johnson. Come have a Brexit party at my house. You can leave as well. Be Frexit. It works. Believe me, it works. Come with us. We'll eat your cheese and wines. Come to my house. It's nice and it's got a big black door on it. Please, I'm so lonely. Just one of you. If it's just England and France, no one can say anything about the EU because it's just the two of us. It's just the two of us, like old times. You come and have a Brexit party at my house, and it can be Frexit as well, says Prime Minister Boris Johnson.
Spot on impression. Loved it.
In response to that. The rest of the Tory party, hearing the Prime Minister's words, misunderstood the term Frexit to be something about fracking underneath an area in the Lake District, and have therefore become fully in support of Frexit. And as such, we are now lobbying France to leave the European Union so that we can sort of knob off together.
Knob off together. Oh yes,
not good at this. I'm not good at this game.
Oh, the famous BBC News phrase "knob off together." It was later revealed that as well as addressing all of this to the nation, Boris Johnson had also left it as a voicemail for France at 4 a.m. whilst trying into a kebab.
No one knows where he got the kebab, but because I can't imagine that there are anywhere near 10 Downing Street, but he got one, and that's, if anything, less of a mystery for Boris Johnson, given his mystery amount of children and mystery amount of money that he's definitely paid in tax. But he is looking for, according to our inside sources, he's looking forward to knobbing off with France, a notoriously romantic nation who invented the language of love, and he is looking forward to experiencing that and contributing nothing in return. Over to you!
And now to the weather. Oh, I can't wait to go to France for snails, cheese, and knobbing off.
Wonderful stuff. Thank you very much. Thoroughly enjoyed both of them. I think I'm going to give the points to Kirstie's team on this occasion, partly because I'm really impressed by how chaotic it was, but still carry on for as long as it did.
Not a single reference to knobbing, no.
No,
that might also be a factor in my choice, to be honest.
Yeah. Sorry.
I was going to say, I can do more knobbing if you want us to, Jonny, for the rest of
I'll go wall to wall.
No, you can't. Not in lockdown.
I'll be brimming with knobs in the next round, honestly.
It'll be overspilling. Just knobs coming in everywhere.
I can do a pun to save it if you want. That
go on.
If
Jonny, double or nothing on Jake's pun.
Oh, don't say that.
Oh, let's make it interesting. Yeah.
I'm sure he does love children jokes.
If the French were to leave the European Union, they shouldn't call it Frexit. They should call it L'Escargot.
That was good. You're still not getting a point, but
Just knob off, Jake.
but the joke has broadcast now, so we legally own it. So it's fine. At the end of that round, Thom and Kirstie's team are tied with 4 points each. So the next,
it's tense.
Sorry.
The next round is Gammon Fishing.
Request.
Yep.
Can we have this in the chat again, please? Because
Yep, I'm going to put it in the chat.
Yes.
Yep, I'm going to put it in the chat. That's fine. So it'll be Kirstie's team first. So yeah, the way this round works is we take an extract or a comment from someone who's angry about something. We replace all the nouns with nouns, a certain number of nouns up in the dictionary, and you have to try and decipher what it is. But we've got something a little different for Kirstie's team this time. So
you gave us something a little different last time, and it was like a book. Usually we get a tweet.
It is to deal with my dyslexia, so it's fine.
But here is your extract you need to translate. Sam has put that in the chat for you, and I assume it will be coming up on the screen at some point. I
like the capital. I like the capitalized nouns. Thank you for the accessibility. I appreciate it.
I know this.
So here it is. So it is a young woodpecker wearing a hijab was watching them talk from an orange secretary general. She had large, slim, lighter brown eye washes. Assuming somebody really did enter the housemaid on the 4th, I've got to say a burka's a bloody good weather of getting in and out without bellow recognised. Can you think of another weather of totally concealing your factotum and bolero that wouldn't make percussionist championship you? And they were carrying a halal talon. Allegedly, was his last Mecca halal? Is that why the kind removed the gyroscopes? And this woodpecker could have been a mandrill.
Do you guys want to make some jokes? Because I know what this is and where it's from.
I wonder what mandrill could be.
I've not got any factotum material. I've got to be honest. I can't even. I'm just trying to work out if I have no idea whatsoever on this one. Assuming somebody read it.
Reading this is a lot like when I was listening to Popes do the other game. It makes sense of what I was supposed to do with this.
I've worked with dementia, and I feel like I have it. Reading this sentence. There's a nice bit about entering a housemaid on the 4th. That bit's a bit. That's like quite saucy. I don't know what a bolero is, isn't it? The dance with.
It's a solero, but it's made out of Bovril.
That sounds gross.
You get them up north. I'm a southerner. We don't do that.
We put them on our chips to cool them down.
So we make so allegedly was his last Mecca halal. Is that why the kind removed the gyroscopes? And this woodpecker could have been a mandrill. I wouldn't even hazard a guess on this one.
I think the word woodpecker is woman. Young woman was wearing a hijab, watching them talk from something. So assuming somebody entered the house on the 4th, I've got to say a burqa is a bloody good way of getting in and out without being recognised. Can you think of another way of totally concealing your face and body that wouldn't make people, don't know, carrying a halal takeaway allegedly was his last meal halal. This woman could have been a man. This is from J.K. Rowling's shitty new book.
Oh, okay.
Yep, you are correct. You'll get a point from that. You can get another point if you manage to translate the ones that you haven't managed to.
What did I miss? Watching them talk
Orange Secretary General.
So watching them talk from a young woman wearing a hijab was watching them talk from an. Shit.
Horrible sexy gear.
From an I don't know.
No, okay.
Ordinary Swiss garbage can.
Very not. So yeah, the full thing. I'll read this. Also, content warning for general transphobia and Islamophobia stuff. So the full text is: a young woman wearing a hijab was watching them talk from an opposite seat. She had large, sweet, liquid brown eyes. Assuming somebody really did enter the house.
So was I.
Yeah. It was.
It's a dirty trick to play, Johnny.
That's just the way that the tool I used worked. I've got to say, a burqa is a bloody good way of getting in and out without being recognised. Can you think of another way of totally concealing your face and body that wouldn't make people challenge you? As if people wearing burqas don't get challenged frequently for wearing them. And they were carrying a halal takeaway. How do you know?
You can't possibly know. It just says halal in big letters on the side.
Oh, smells like prayer cow.
Giving away 3 balloons with halal written on the side. You know.
Yes, because that's what young Muslim women in hijabs want to do, draw more attention to themselves.
Allegedly, just wearing like a big hoodie that just says halal on it.
Halal to you too.
Yeah. Halal, but like in the Slayer font.
Genuinely good. That's really good.
It would be raining blood, so that's how you kill the animals to make them halal.
Fucking hell. Allegedly, was his last meal halal? Is that why the killer removed the guts? And this woman could have been a man. Yes, this is an extract from the Turf Who Shall Not Be Named's new book about a serial killer dressing as a woman to get away with killing women. Unrelated note, there have already been at least 27 recorded fatal attacks against transgender people in 2020, most of them trans women, most of them not white. Transgender hate crimes recorded by police rose 81% in 2019 by using as platform as big as Rowling to perpetuate the narrative that people perceived as men in dresses are a threat to the lives of women. Openly broadcast justification of all these violent acts as a panic defense. At best, this book is a lazy, trope-filled narrative in poor taste, but with Rowling's openly and publicly hostile views towards transgender women, it's hard to see this anything other than an incitement of violence against transgender women, particularly as the GRA reform has just been scrapped. Make no mistake, the views perpetuated and platformed by TERFs have a real-world consequences, and if you continue to overlook them, justify them, you are part of the problem. Sorry to get all serious for you on a moment there. I just really needed to get that off my chest to allow my breast room to grow on it. On with the show. Thom, you're...
Sorry, I'm still laughing at your boob joke.
Thank you. Right, Thom's team. Sam, are you posting that in the chat?
So
no worries.
bad at this game.
Yeah, I'm not going to be. I mean, I'm partially sighted, so I can't even really see it anyway.
Right, here we are. So, Thom, your passage is funny how thongs work. So I'm not allowed to speak my minibus, but all of you internet washcloths that like sorcerers about blotch, gym slips, and debt all have become scorchers that know it all bicker. Just stay at homosexual and shiver.
I will stay at homosexual.
Stop listening to debt method. It's not for you then. We followed the check requisition reiterations and everything was done legal. We were happy to finally play live again and earning some monocle, which we didn't for 8 mores. This so-called virus, in quotation marks, has not been active since April, so we went for it in a reasonable weapon. To all the haters, keep hating, make your screenshots, you crybabies. So,
it's good to know on here? It's good to know that the virus is just like my career and hasn't been active since April.
And is so called.
Shit, talk of the opposite team.
No, that feels mean. Everyone seems really nice. So I think I do a bit of it.
I think I know some of it.
Work, so I'm not allowed to speak my mind. But all of you internet
warriors
that like sorcerers. I'm an internet warrior, and I do like sorcerers.
Sorcerers are blocked gym slips with a Z because it's the cool way to spell it, apparently.
That's in the dictionary with a Z.
All you internet warriors are like stories about something gynecology and death. Death. I think death is death.
Death is correct. The others are basically wrong.
Okay. Is sorcerer's story?
It's funny how things work.
Yeah.
One, because that's got to be.
Yes, that's funny how things work. Yes.
Speak my mind.
Speak my mind. But all of you internet
wankers.
I'm still thinking warriors. Warriors make sense.
Warriors is right. Warriors.
Warriors.
Okay. Right. Warriors that like stories.
Nope.
that like
Sorbet.
shouting.
No.
Oh yeah. Oh
That
no,
like
it's not.
shouting about. That
Not
like
shouting.
Sexing. Shagging.
Greet.
I feel like
Sorcering.
Crying.
I feel like if you carry on and come back to this later.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Oh, okay, right, fine.
So,
Gym Slips and Death. So, which is the name of my favourite emo album.
Yeah.
Is it Death?
Death is correct. It's not Gym Slips.
Is Sorcerer's shit?
Sorcerer's not shit, no.
Okay, right, we'll come back to it. Just stay at home and shiver. Stop listening to
Death metal?
Yeah, death metal.
There we are.
It's not for you. Then we follow Czech requisition retaliations.
Requisition is also changed. I think Sam forgot to capitalize that.
Right,
one.
I see. Okay.
So yeah, I may have also forgotten to highlight it when I sent it over to Sam. So it may.
We follow Czech Republic regulations.
There we are.
It was done legal. We are happy to finally play live again. Oh, it's fucking Trapped, isn't it, Jonny?
It's not Trapped. No, this is the first show I wasn't going to bring up Trapped, and now you've made me do it.
Then it's probably Smash Mouth.
So it's earning some money.
We are happy to finally play live again and earn some money, which we didn't for 8 months. The so-called virus has not been active since April, so we went for it in a responsible way. To all the haters, keep hating, make your screenshots, you crybabies. So we need to go back to... songs about...
There we are.
No, it's songs about... So it's all metal and shit.
Bitches.
Bitches?
It's not bitches.
Is it?
Some Barry's guns.
Think about words you'd associate with death metal.
Blood.
Guitar.
Blood. There we are.
Blood,
Songs about
guitars,
blood.
and death.
No, not
Blood,
guitar.
gore. Blood, gore.
Gore. Blood, gore, and death. Yeah, I'm going to give you the 2 points for that. You're basically spot on.
Who was it?
Fantastic. So this is a Facebook post from death metal band Pestilence, who performed a show much to the controversy of people due to the pandemic. Now, while as an artist I can appreciate the need to perform gigs where viable, I don't think this was their most eloquent way of necessarily putting that across. I don't think putting the word virus in quotation marks really did them any favors.
I mean, are we calling the death metal band Pestilence art?
I mean, if there was going to be a death metal band that was going to flout the rules of a virus, it's going to be one called Pestilence, isn't it?
Imagine being called Pestilence and then just being like, viruses aren't real. Like
this so-called virus.
Weird, a real virus.
Wonderful stuff. So at the end of that round, Tom's team is on 6 points and Kirstie's team is on 5. So it's still very close.
It is tight.
Next round is Dickhead of the Month. So this is a round where everyone, all of our panelists gets a minute to nominate their Dickhead of the Month and explain why, and then I choose a winner based on who I think presents the best argument. You have a minute to do so, and yeah, let's get this started. So Eryn, you're going to go first. Let me just get a timer up. Okay, so who is your nomination first of all?
A mouse.
A mouse. Okay, your time starts now.
Very
Elaborate.
universal on this one. I've just gone Dickhead of the Month for me. Though I had a mouse in my room, and it basically just got to have my bedroom for like a week because we couldn't catch it, so we just locked it in there. So I had a really nice time in my bedroom, and then we set up like a bed down here, and we called it Stonefield Retreat, and we realized that we keep saying that we're going on holiday to trick us into doing really shit things. We just say it's a holiday. Like we were kicked out of our house, out of our room. We're like, we're going on holiday. But we're both very tired. Like, we really need a holiday. And this mouse just kept us up so much. Is that a minute?
15 seconds, but if you finished, I can end it there.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Mouse, what a dickhead. Right.
What a dickhead.
Jake, you're up next. Who's your nomination?
My nomination for Dickhead of the Month is my Google Nest Mini.
Google Nest Mini, right? Take it away.
Right. First of all, I don't trust her because she keeps flashing up like she's listening to us, and I don't like that. Secondly, okay, thank you. Sorry. The good old pronoun is it. I asked it to I said, "Hey Google, search Jake Donaldson comedy," and it replied, "Sorry, I can't find any results for comedy and Jake Donaldson." Like she works for fucking Chortle, right? So that bothered me for a start. Secondly, my girlfriend's been living with me for the last couple of weeks because of some home things. She's moving house. And she has taken it upon herself to annoy me constantly by walking into the room when I'm in the middle of writing something or on a Zoom meeting or something and just asking it to play the 90s hit song Bentley's Gonna Sort It Out by Bentley Rhythm Ace, which has been annoying me completely. I asked it if I was a good person, and its response was, "Well, I like you." Which, what the fuck does that mean? That's like when your mum tells you that you're a handsome young man, and any girl would be lucky to have you, right? I said, "Okay,
start
Google."
rounding up.
Yeah, sure. I said, "Okay, Google, who's the boss?" And it said, "I guess that would be you." Like the passive aggressive little prick, right? Like that's the way I used to talk to my manager when I was being treated like shit at Asda, and I felt like I had no power. Is it planning some sort of coup? Like the little Night of the Long Knives circuit board? Fuck. That's probably about all of it. I mean, there was some other things, but I've run out of time.
That's your time. Yep. Yeah, it sounds like it's really pissed you off. But yeah, we'll maybe inquire into more of that later. So, Katie, you're up next. Who's your dickhead?
Yeah, my dickhead is the moral ambiguity of harvesting the blood of horseshoe crabs.
I love it. I love it. Okay, take it away.
Give us a point now.
Before Dyson, there was Henry, and before Roombas, there were horseshoe crabs. I have got some scientific illustrations, and I didn't know whether this would be mirrored or not, so I wrote it backwards and backwards. Horseshoe crabs are neither crabs or horses, but they are really cool and better than both of them combined, because these bad bitches in the ocean predate the dinosaurs and are still alive and haven't changed any much because they achieved perfection before grass came into being. And they're very good. They have 12 legs and they have 10 eyes and somehow move very slowly and can't see, but they're very cute and smooth. So I'll forgive them for that. But humans harvest their blood. I'll repeat, we harvest their blood like the horny little vampires we are, because their blood is weird. It's blue, which isn't why we harvest it, but it's fun. What it does do is it clumps into a lovely little crabby jelly when it comes into contact with bacteria. And it's really useful for the pharmaceutical industry, because if bacteria get in your medications and then people get sepsis, and then what you're going to do, treat them with medications, which, it's also got bacteria and it's bad. What they used to do was test each batch on a rabbit. And if the rabbit died or got a fever, then they'd throw all of the medicine away and start again, which is incredibly wasteful for the medicine and the rabbit, and especially because rabbits can sometimes lie. If anyone's had a rabbit, they'll know that if the hay is slightly off or you've got them a food they don't like, they'll just stop eating for a week, and then you'll nearly put them down, and then you'll give them their old food and they're like, oh, it's happy now. Anyway, so horseshoe crab blood, you just put a drop into your medication, a little bit, and then if it clumps, then it's got bacteria in, and then you can just sort it out. And so each drop of horseshoe crab blood saves a whole rabbit. So each harvest of blood from a horseshoe crab saves 30 to 50 rabbits from animal testing, which is good, especially because if you're injecting them, even if it doesn't have sepsis causing bacteria in, you're still injecting insulin into a rabbit. It's not going to have a good time. But
I'll be honest, you hit a minute ages ago, but I was really intrigued.
Passionate about it, because people, no one knows how many of them there are, and so they keep on taking the blood out for pharmaceuticals, and it is definitely good, but they have a 30% death rate when you extract blood from them. And no one knows how many of them there are, so they could go extinct. And they've been around since before the dinosaurs, and I think that would be sad. And also, they're cute.
They are
I was going to
cute.
say I give blood all the time and I'm fine. But
Are you calling horseshoe crabs pussies?
yes, I am. Useful pussies.
Right. I learned several things in that very long minute. So
Sorry.
yes, okay. Kirstie, you're up next. Who's your dickhead?
My dickhead is Spotify ads.
Okay, go on.
I mean, obviously, there's the general ones that I feel like everyone is annoyed at. Like, I'm sick of anyone saying we're all in this together when I know how much Spotify ads cost, and we are not. I really hate having like the government ads going like, don't forget to stay home or we'll kill your nan, even though I've seen my nan twice this year. And when I saw her most recently, she was like, don't leave it so long next time. Like, I'd done it on purpose. And then they're immediately followed by like holiday companies like, oh, get away, have a great time, hang out in a sauna with a bunch of sweaty naked strangers, which like, I mean, I'd like to, but I'm aware there's still a plague. But the ones that like piss me off the most are like the really horny makeup ads, and like they have just no right to talk to anyone like that while it is still illegal to touch other people. And there's a one that comes up a lot that's just like oh, like don't stop, like reach your climax, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna fuck a mascara, can you just stop?
And that's your time. Thank you very much.
Howard, I'd fuck a mascara.
Okay, well, I'll send you a link next time I get that ad on Spotify.
There are single mascaras in my area.
Right, Pope, you're up next. Who's your dickhead?
Mine's a pretty obvious one, but I've got a person. It's Lawrence Fox, but I've got a personal reason for.
Fantastic. Okay, take it away.
So I once knew a guy, and this is an absolutely true story. I once knew a guy who found a box of live iguanas by a motorway. And the iguanas bit him and whipped him with their tails, but he refused to get a tetanus shot because he believed that he's got a really elaborate conspiracy. He believed all shots administered by the NHS were government mandated, and that any shot increased your iron count in your blood, which forced you to commit crime. And then this is true, or at the very least, like, behave erratically. And according to his conspiracy, this was an elaborate way for the government to engineer a crime epidemic, institute emergency powers, and then consolidate their own power. Anyway, this guy was on Facebook expressing his support for Lawrence Fox's new political party. And if those are the people you're attracting, maybe stop being you.
And that's your time. Thank you very much.
That's all right. There you go.
Yeah, fucking brilliant. Okay, and last but not least, Thom, who is your dickhead?
My dickhead of the month is parents. Not my parents. This isn't like my 16-year-old poetry or anything like that. It's like because I work as a teaching assistant, which is a great example of survival capitalism because it's a wonderful job opportunity at the moment, but the second I get ill, I'm fucked. And as a result of this, I get to see a lot of how the parents are advising their children to act in times of COVID. There's two examples which are horrible. One is a local high school has had to send home 4 year groups and is currently self-isolating. So the parents have decided to send their teenage children who are now home to our primary school to pick up their kid brothers and sisters. As if is this sort of weird way of saying your brother's really jealous that you've got coronavirus. Do you mind popping around and sharing it with him and his mates? And the second time was, this was in class, and a small child did not want a TA to come near him. So he licked the table from top to bottom in one fail swoop to create like a moat of germs so that the TA could not come near him. And I don't blame the child because, one, like the child has sensory needs, and I am not a person to judge somebody for putting strange things in their mouth for no apparent reason. It's just can't do it. And secondly, like, I can't blame the child because the reason the child does this is because his mum said to him, just like, oh yeah, no, it's like, people are really scared of coronavirus, but don't worry, it's not real. It's not real. It's like, you'll be all right. So he now knows that people are scared of it and that he can weaponize that. And thirdly, I can't be angry at him because I wasn't the TA affected, and it was the funniest thing I've ever fucking seen.
Wonderful stuff. That was a really, they all sound like massive dickheads. I think I'm going to give the points to Pope for that one. Yeah, and I think right up, I'm going to give Katie a point just because I really enjoyed all the stuff I learned about horseshoe crabs. That was that was really intense, and I'm morally conflicted now. I can see why you went for it, but But yeah, I'm going to give the points to Pope because Pope didn't overrun by about 3 minutes. So I think that's fair.
I was like, I'm just going to keep on going until I get told to stop, and then you didn't. So
And also, I don't think Pope had illustrations.
That's true. That's true.
And Pope did not have the foresight to write it both backwards and forwards, which is a very difficult thing to do. Probably.
Do you know what? Yeah.
I did have illustrations. I just didn't want to show them. I just didn't want to show them.
Well, maybe that's your mistake, Pope, and not ours.
Tom, you're so slimy every time you don't get a point, mate. Like,
it's all characters.
Funny says.
It's the comedian
none of us beg as much as you.
Look,
Before
I've
we move
already
on,
filled in the Excel cells. I'm not changing them now.
before we move on to the next one, can I just apologise to anyone who is listening at home whose Google Nest Mini kept going off whenever I said "Okay, Google," because mine was doing it behind me, and luckily it's not picked it up on the microphone. But I'm very annoyed at it already.
Let's give it a go. Okay, Doodle. Okay, Doodle.
It's just said sorry to me.
Oh no, my phone did it.
I asked it earlier. I said, "Where do you live?" And it said, "I live in the cloud. I'd like to also think that I live in your heart, but I don't want to make assumptions." I'm like, "All right, Zoe Deschanel."
No. That's like corporate Twitter accounts that try and do like banter. Like,
no, it's like it lives in a Wes Anderson film. It's awful.
Ask it to define slang terms. That's always fun. Like me and my housemate got absolutely fucking wasted one time and just like came up with different euphemisms, and every single time it would be like it'd say the definition of skin flute according to whatever website is penis, and we just found that so funny. We did it for hours.
Okay, Doodle, define off.
Right.
Definition of nod off.
Nod off.
Earlier I asked it if it had an imagination, and it said, "I'm imagining what it would be like to evaporate like water does." And I was like, "Same, mate. We're all feeling like that. Go and write a fucking poem."
It's really cool that they've trapped Katy Perry in there.
Right, at the end of the round, Kirstie team has taken the lead with 8 points, while Tom is on 7. We are going to have another break now for about 10 minutes, so go do your business, save some horseshoe crabs or some rabbits. Make your choices on whose side you're on. And then
we have had a comment saying rabbits are assholes. So the audience is on the side of the crowd.
That's why it's moral ambiguity.
Someone is not a fan of the Rayman series.
I had a conversation. Should I wait until this is a break? Do you have to officially announce a break?
We should wait, yeah.
I mean, yeah. This is now a break. Next round will be great debate. We're going to be talking about the ending of Furlough. So if you have any questions for any of the characters, start thinking about them now. And we will commence that in about 10 minutes' time. So now it's officially a break. I'm getting a drink.
I'm getting a brew.
Yeah, I will in a second. But I had a conversation with my girlfriend a few weeks ago about whether or not. Yeah, thank you, Kirstie. It was. Well, we were talking about what type of what type of animal would vote what party, because it started because we walked past a horse, and I was pretty sure that all horses are Tories.
Muted.
No, because Tories race horses and then shoot them when they have a broken leg. I was supposed to get into character for the great debate, and I'm on my first thing. I've already dropped it.
I'm going to go and disappear for the break, but I'll be back shortly.
Okay, I'll chat to Sam.
I'll literally only be 2 minutes.
How's it going? How's things? How the fuck have I managed to lose this? So it's the back of a pin, and it's like it's the first time I've ever worn this fucking pin that cost me £10. And it's like my floor is like relatively clear. There's not a lot of shit everywhere, and I have no idea where it's gone. I feel like it might have rolled behind something because I'm in a corner.
What have you lost?
The back of a pin. So I've got for the great debate, I've got a whole outfit.
Nice.
And the first thing I was going to do was put on this pin, which is a Homer Simpson badge where he's reading a book that says how to kill cops. And And I've dropped the back of it, so I can't wear it. But I realised how close I had to hold it to the camera for you to see it. It probably would have gone unnoticed anyway. So what's happened is I've lost the back of this pin for no good reason, and now I can never wear it. Oh well, fuck my life. How's things going with you?
I don't know who you were talking to specifically. Was that
anyone who wants
That's
to
fine.
answer the
I think,
question?
I got like off the back of that, I've got a patch which I put on my dungarees with a picture of Avril Lavigne on, which has got pistols. I'd rather be listening to Avril on it. And I haven't had a chance to wear it in any punk bars to annoy some old punks who are Tories now. But when it happens, I can't wait. I've just been sitting there with my little Avril patch.
That's a fantastic patch.
Yeah.
That sounds fantastic. Like, I have so many like various patches I've picked up off places and just I've never attached them to anything. Like, because it was always like, I don't want to spend money on like a jacket to put the patches on until I have enough patches to go on it. Now I have about enough patches to go on it. I haven't bothered to buy something. And like for the longest time, that was the reason I didn't bother to buy patches that I wanted. And now I just don't have an excuse. And I keep buying like patches and pins, losing half the pins, and just like I have like 4 different drawers in my house that are just like patch drawers for as and when I'm ready to put them on something.
I've got a small pile which I need to attach to stuff. I started making my own for a bit, and then but I was hand embroidering them, and I'm more of a knitter. So as soon as the novelty of like I'm doing embroidery, they're just in a little pile now.
I made the hat that's part of my costume. If you can see it, it's really bad and clunky, but from a distance it looks all right. I'm doing a costume, but only because I happen to have things in my house that fit my character.
Yeah, I'm gonna come up with I'm surely got things in my house to. Right, I'll be back in a minute.
We're doing quite good for time. I'm really impressed.
You know what? More I mean, tight is the word, but wait. Kirstie, you say it's the last game, but in the sheet I've got, it says redacted.
Yeah. That's the same game. We've got the great debate first.
Yeah, but why is it called redacted?
Jonny changed the title because they're funny.
Yeah, I keep changing it.
Well, I thought redacted meant we weren't doing it.
No.
Okay.
That was a joke, Thom.
What does redacted mean? What does redacted mean? Oh.
It's because I'm fairly sure the actual name of it is probably copyrighted. Yeah. Also, it might not be, but it's just kind of funny to just shamelessly steal the game.
It's just me being it. It's just it said redacted, and the joke and the categories are in red. So I was just like, all right, cool, that's not happening.
Yeah. I don't know why the categories were in red. It just started typing red, and I didn't change it.
Yeah. I've still written some for it anyway, so it's not an issue. It's just, you know.
Oh, well, that's good. I was worried. I was worried that Tom B wouldn't have prepared gags for that round.
I always have 1 or 2 and then I just wing it. But I say that I don't write in case they're shit.
Andrew Taylor says, don't talk about the ending of Furlough. I haven't seen it yet. So, spoiler alert. If anyone wasn't already aware. To be fair, we've got is it end of October? I should have known this.
Hold up.
Yeah. So this is purely prediction. This isn't canon. What's going to happen in this show? So don't worry.
I really should know what's going on, given I'm currently on furlough and need to like plan my life and figure out how I'm paying rent.
You need to do 1/3 of your hours to qualify for government help.
I'm currently doing 1/5 of my hours, and I don't want to do any more.
Then you wouldn't qualify for the new furlough scheme.
But that's the thing. I don't know if my boss is planning on bringing me back, because originally he was like, oh, we'll have you back to full time within a couple of weeks. It won't be long. And now it's been like 3 months I've been doing 1 day a week. And it's like, well, are you bringing me back or not? Because most days that I actually bother that I'm actually there. Like I am there from like 9 till 5, and you don't fucking talk to me or tell me what's going on or give me any updates. So I have no fucking clue like what his intentions are. Like it's not up to me how many days I come in.
Yeah.
It's whether or not he tells me come in for these days.
Yeah. Also, do we know what the definition of a viable job is?
I mean,
I'm aware that I should
discuss that
research
shortly.
this for this, but
I feel like it's intentionally vague. So
yeah, absolutely.
let's lighten the mood. So the horseshoe crabs, am I right? What's the deal? That's
and rabbit bastards.
I feel like there's a really easy solution in just like take less blood from each crab so they don't die as often.
Yeah,
like how was like that sounds really obvious. And
I think it's because it's really valuable shit. Like,
why do they not just have like? Why do they just breed crabs like we breed cows?
yeah, some people
Okay,
just start
make
farming
sure we
them
have
now and
enough
they're like,
breeding crabs to continue the population. Like that feels like such an easy, obvious way of doing it.
I mean, this might just be, Team Vegan speaking, but I don't think we should be farming crabs so that we can drain their blood. It's like...
Okay, but it's not just like, it's to save many lives, mate. It's not the same as just all bacon's tasty. Like...
I mean, I'm still not... I don't know, because I have this issue like with British Heart Foundation test on animals, but also they stop heart disease, kind of. So it's a tricky one. Yeah,
I think.
To be fair, what I will say in favour of horseshoe crabs over people is no horseshoe crabs voted Tory.
That's true, and they would never.
Oh, I mean, we've had a comment. The USA uses horseshoe crabs. We've had a comment saying. The USA uses horseshoe crabs, but the EU have a synthetic alternative they use. So we don't need to hurt the horseshoe crabs at all. Yeah, okay, that solves the problem.
Don't need to hurt the animals.
Let's just everyone use the synthetic alternative.
Problem solved. Crabs have feelings too, probably. I've seen Moana. That's a giant crab.
He was the bad guy.
Yeah, but he still had feelings. Bad guys have feelings too. And
he's
also
not really the bad guy. He's an inconsequential antagonist. He's not the bad guy.
They were basically just like, look, we got Jermaine Clement. Do we give him a song?
His song bangs though. I like that song.
It's my least favorite song in the movie because it just like it's not. I don't even know if the song's bad. It was clearly tacked in as a tribute to Bowie. Like it didn't feel like it fit with anything else.
I don't entirely.
I heard the song
really
before I
good.
watched the film.
Yeah.
So
out of context of the film, it's all right, but it just like given how good the rest of the soundtrack is and how like true it is to like the actual music is.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't entirely understand how they got The Rock to sing good in that because he can't.
Auto-tune, mate.
No, but now you can usually hear auto-tune more, and it was
auto-tune is very sophisticated these days.
And also, they could have just done a Jeremy Irons on him and give him speaking songs.
Yeah. I was out for a bike ride, like right at the beginning of lockdown, and I came home, and my housemate was watching Moana, and I was like, "Oh, has Shiny happened yet?" And he was like, "I don't know." And I was like, "How can you not know? It's a giant fucking crab singing about how shiny he is. Like, has it happened in the film that you are watching or not?"
Moana's better than Frozen. I'll die on that hill.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Moana. Is it worth it? I don't know. I've kind of gone like, I'm not seen it.
I've got a very warped perspective on it because I work in primary schools. So and it's like that film came out, I believe, 8 years ago, and they're still singing it like every Christmas. It's like it's
Frozen, yeah.
It must be all right because it's clearly got quite a bit of staying power.
It's decent, yeah.
But I'm just sick of it.
I'm mad at Frozen for overshadowing Big Hero 6.
Same. Big Hero 6 is a beautiful film.
Big Hero 6 is really good. Yeah.
It was amazing, and like it like explored grief and depression in a way that was accessible for children, and it was just so good, and everyone was so smart, and it like showed like the value of education and kindness and compassion, and it just got completely massively overshadowed because it came out within 6 months of Frozen.
Yeah. And Fallout Boy did the theme song from it.
Oh,
that was they did.
That
was a good theme song.
It's a solid song. I feel like this about the film Megamind that came out around about the same time as whatever that one with the minions in is.
Despicable Me. Is that the Steve Carell one?
It's Despicable Me is the Steve Carell one.
Will Ferrell one.
Will Ferrell is the Megamind one, and it's got Tina Fey in it as well, and a few other people.
Megamind is good.
It's a solid film.
Yeah.
My friend's boyfriend is a dead spit of Megamind, and like every time there is a fancy costume, he just like blues up because like he already has like the little beard and the bald head, like, and is got quite a large bald head for quite a skinny man, and so just Megamind is his go-to fancy dress costume.
I always thought Megamind looked like Darren Brown. I love Darren Brown. I've met Darren once. He's lovely.
It's quite an open question, and anyone in comments can say too. But like, what's your favourite children's film that you saw first time as an adult?
Big Hero 6.
Yeah, fair.
I mean,
it might be.
It's Big Hero 6.
That's the only one I've got on my arm that I saw first time as an adult. Everything else is a childhood thing.
Yeah. It's Big Hero 6 or Fantastic Mr. Fox for me.
Never seen it.
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
It's not a kids film, and I think that is why I like it. It's a garbage rolled out adaptation. It's awful as that, but the animation is beautiful, and it's very Wes Anderson. As if Wes Anderson did the kids film.
That's cool.
Because it is directed by Wes Anderson. Isn't
it is. It is. Yeah. Hence why it's very Wes Anderson. The man
I was going to say,
like he's not a contract director, is he?
Does it have My Google Nest in it by any chance?
Right, are we all ready to carry on?
Sure.
Yep.
Fantastic. So this next round is a great debate. All our panelists will be debating a big topic in the news while taking the roles of assigned characters by me. I'll be chairing the debate. The characters should be coming up on the screen any minute now. But in the meantime, just going to quickly have a look, see if we've got any decent comments recently. Rockier's last beer was terrible. I'm sorry. I'd get you a new one, but I don't want to. Okay, yep. The things are up now. So we've got Eryn, who is playing the economy. Jake is playing a retired boomer. Katie is playing Boris Johnson. I'm so sorry, Katie. Kirstie is playing an anarchist. Pope is a posh teenager with a rich dad, and Thom is an undefined small business owner. I just realized the way my YouTube thing's set out, the Blizzard Comedy watermark covers owner, so it just says Thom is an undefined small business. Which, I mean, do that if you want. I'm happy with that. Right. So yeah, today we're going to be
the term is sole trader.
The term is comedian.
I mean, yeah,
allegedly.
Alleged comedian. Right. So
so-called career.
Thank you all for joining us. Obviously, this is a very big issue we face this week. Up until last week, I was actually going to talk about Brexit stuff, but that seems less important now, which says a lot about this thing. So, first of all, simple question: do you think the furlough scheme should be extended until after October? We'll start with you, Katie.
I've been very clear on this in the past. When I said in the past that it would be an excellent idea to continue the furlough thing, I now wholly disagree with that, and I've been very consistent on this point. You only need to look at the things the ancient Romans did as very disconspicuous. If you think of how Caesar came and did a thing, it's much like that. Have I told you I have many children?
Lovely coherent answer there. Thank you very much. Thom, what are your views on extending the furlough?
Well, first of all, I would like to point out that there is a typo in this. It says undefined. It should actually say underfunded.
I take objection.
Yeah, well, then therefore my answer is yes. My answer is, of course, yes. The furlough scheme should absolutely be extended.
One.
Keep it short. Why? Why is a thing that? Yeah, right. Yeah, of course it is. Or the new scheme shit. I mean, like all freelancer, like all self-employed people, I actually have 7 different jobs, and I'll probably list them all off during this for different jokes. But first of all, you're only eligible for the new scheme if you are part of a viable business. Now, I own a all year round Halloween store. Now, and this only goes up to October. So after October, how is this not a viable business? I personally don't understand. And no, we should absolutely pay for this because it's an ongoing issue, and I can't afford to pay my staff, so therefore the government should.
Well, thank you very much for your input. We'll go over to let's go over to Jake now. Jake, what are your views on the extension of furlough or lack thereof?
Well, I don't understand why these younger workers can't just get jobs in industries that are exempt from the virus. Like professional tennis player or home ownership. I didn't work 50 years as a part-time printing press assistant just to have all of my hard-earned pension spent on taxes to sustain my own children.
How many children?
Furlough scheme should not have existed in the first place. People are lazy.
Well, that's a really interesting take. You think furlough shouldn't have existed in the first place? Pope, what are your views on this? Should the furlough scheme have existed in the first place? And do you think it should be extended now?
I can't wait for this.
Furlough scheme, you say? What's Cousin Furlough done now? Has he Cousin Furlough? Good man.
I think that's one of mine, actually.
So I think we've got a cousin in common. Has he finally approved the extrajudicial killing of single mums? We all said making him Secretary of Defence was asking for trouble, but that's Cousin Furlough for you. I don't know why people are so worried about jobs anyway. My dad bought the BBC. And he made sure all the comedy panel shows saved a space for me so I could go on and talk about all the naughty sex things that I've been up to. And, if you're struggling during the pandemic, just do what a normal person would do. Ask Daddy to buy a public service broadcaster. It's so easy. And, also Cousin Furlough is thinking of starting his own news channel for those who feel undeserved and unheard by the media. So white people, it'll be a channel full of white people like the Devonshire clotted cream that dribbles out of me when I orgasm. So So Cousin Furlough is up to all kinds of nonsense, and he should carry on. So he's a good fellow.
It's great. I'm an undefined small business, but I feel very much like your father is an undefined large business right now. Don't know what any of that is. Daddy's got a big portfolio. He owns half of Ukraine, he's all over the shop, to be honest. But that's Daddy. My portfolio is just pencil drawings of horses.
Wonderful stuff. I'm sure we'll get more in depth into that later, but we've not heard, we have not heard from Kirstie yet. So, Kirstie, what are your views on the extension of furlough, or indeed the non-extension of furlough?
Funny you should mention that. If we have to exist under the current system of rampant toxic capitalism, I guess extending the furlough scheme would be a good idea, but it is still the lesser of many possible evils, and what we really should be doing is dismantling corporate tyranny, because ultimately the point of having a society and paying taxes and having governance is to ensure that our resources are pooled and everyone's basic needs are met. And as long as this dickhead's daddy and this idiot who's paying less than living wage aren't doing that, we're not having anything close to or remotely close to what society is supposed to be for. If extending the furlough scheme is like what we have, fine, but I think a better option would be like going and burning down some corporate head offices and also Boris Johnson's house.
I object to that. I have many houses and I want them all.
All of them. Let's burn all of them and see how you like it.
I summon many wives. I need children.
I enjoy that Boris Johnson is being played by Henry VIII.
Very much an inspiration to my leadership. I'm going to take all of the money out of the Catholic Church and have a divorce.
I've just realised you're my daddy. You're my daddy, Boris.
Oh no!
Hey, you're my daddy. You're the one.
Right. Well, that's all well and good. But there's one panelist we've not heard from yet. Eryn, how is the furlough scheme ending going to affect you?
Hello. I'm the economy. So I'm a pretty big deal. For me personally, Yeah, I wouldn't really want to take a side because I'm just loving how popular this debate has been making me at the moment. Before it was just nerds who were talking about me. Now everybody wants a piece of this. Everybody wants to talk about me. It's pretty good. Finally making it into the mainstream. Brexit didn't do it. The election, nobody cared about me. But COVID, everybody wants to talk about me.
I want to be my 50th wife. I can't think.
If I had to pick a side, I would say probably like let's keep doing it because the fellow's just gonna keep making people go like, oh, in this economy, and I love being seen. I love being talked about. Keep saying it.
Wonderful. I am very glad you're being seen. In fact, maybe we should start dedicating a day to the economy being seen. The Economy Visibility Day. It can be September 28th every year. It'd be nice, and we can all just pay tribute to the economy and indeed the important role they play in society. Just a reminder at this point that anyone in the chat, if you have any questions for any of our panelists, please do feel free to ask them. We'll try to get to them as much as possible. In the meantime, so Thom, I want to dive a bit more into how furlough ending affects you personally. So, what are the dangers with this? How is this impacting your many jobs?
Well, I have many jobs, but I am in charge of all those jobs. So I have a wide range of staff. One of my many businesses is Thom Bereavement, which is where I will send one of my many staff members round to your funeral to just look sad. And but unfortunately, because of the funeral limitations to 30, they no longer have room for our Thom Bereavers, which means that I'm out the job. I'm on my arse. I'm being buried, so to speak. And with furlough, we are able to continue this, and we've been trying to digitize our things. So, we'll zoom in, crying, that sort of thing. It's not been very popular, but business is slow. We need furlough to keep going, otherwise.
Typical millennials always wanted to zoom in crying. That's what they always do. And, it's like you should get a proper job, Typical boomer who can't decide if their accent is a Monty Python sketch or Coronation Street. Look, I've got so much blood.
You've got as many accents as you've got property, dickhead.
That is true. I spend time in a lot of different areas of the country.
Yeah, but you don't do anything. You just speak the same but louder.
That's not true. Look. It's not my fault that you young people are all too distracted.
I'm 56.
By your hashtags and your gel pens to find ways to make money for yourself. You shouldn't be relying on the government to be bailing you out. In my day, furlough, it was just an instruction that I gave a seamstress who was sewing mink lining onto my wife's coat. Furlough, honestly.
A very strange idea of what you think boomers are.
Look, the person playing me has got a very difficult family background.
Right, we've got a couple of questions here from Sam. Thom, can you give us an example of your crying service?
So, let's say that one of you's died.
Okay.
All right.
For the purposes of the scenario,
if we're on about dying, it's me right now. It's fine. Like, one of us has died, and someone will turn up to your funeral. They will be dressed to the nines, and they will just sit there. Like, for a low fee, they'll look solemn. For a higher fee, full blown tears, and for what? No! Oh no! Jake's died. I was the one person who saw his comedy special. I had a connection.
I'm not asking Daddy to invest in this.
Oh no, your dad doesn't want to invest in me.
Fucking spectacular. On that note, Pope, actually, so do you think that if a job requires a furlough scheme to survive, that it's a job that's worth existing?
I think Cousin Furlough deserves to exist. I mean, he's, I wouldn't. I mean, he did once fondle me in the bath, but that was just part of the play, horseplay. Look, I'm being played by a working class person whose life doesn't intersect with upper class people in any way. So I have to do quite a broad representation of what I think they're like. But yeah, I really like jobs are easy to come by. You just get your dad to buy a job for you, and you're on your way. So I don't know what everyone's moaning about, to be honest.
Exactly, Pope. I don't understand why Bob a Job Week doesn't still exist.
I know exactly. I mean, there's jobs left, right, and centre. As I said, like my dad bought the BBC, and he's given me a job as Gordon the Gopher on the BBC. So I'm reviving that, and I'm reviving. Jim will fix it with
Jimmy Carr.
With Jimmy Carr, that's right. No
Jimmy Carr.
No taxes.
To be fair, Jimmy Carr does sound like a guy I know who I pay occasionally to do my car, and he does fix it.
Oh, the only thing Jimmy Carr can fix is his finances.
Wow.
Good humour from Tom B.
Yeah. Topical humour from like 2014 now.
Look, it was a simpler time. I want to go back. No one died yet.
We've got a couple more chat questions. So this one is for Eryn. Also, a question for the economy. What is your best sector?
Oh, all my sectors. Love my sectors. Big fan of all my sectors. I couldn't name a favourite. I love them all equally.
Wonderful. Nice, good socialist economy there. I'm a big fan. And we've got a question from Richard Moore for Kirstie. Question for the anarchist. What would you say to the idea that after you've built all the parallel institutions to maintain a stable society, that then you've got what amounts to a state? That's a complicated one.
I have such a nihilistic approach to life that I don't believe I will see that happen in my lifetime. I look at the institution as it is, and what I see is a world that is so inherently corrupt from within, at its core, at its foundation, that it can't possibly be fixed as it is. And the work that it would take to fix it requires it to be razed to the ground first and completely burnt to shit until there's nothing left, and then we can start rebuilding potentially a new state, but probably when my children's children are old. So for now, burn things and throw bricks at cops.
Do you want to present Jim will fix it? You'd be good for that.
Jim will burn it.
I'm down for that show.
There you are, Kirstie. You've been offered a job now. Does that change your views?
No, because it's a job burning shit. I'm down for that.
the anarchist TV show Bricks Will Fix It.
Lovely stuff.
Bricks it.
So we've not heard from Katie for a while. So Prime Minister, do you think that furlough was a mistake in the first place?
Well, I've been looking at people across the channel doing it, and France is making it go on for 2 years. So is Germany, and it's all EU bullshit. If the British people wanted to be supported by the state and the taxes that they all pay, they wouldn't have voted leave. So as far as I'm concerned, we're following the view of the British people by doing nothing like what they're doing over there, and I have been entirely consistent on this, and so yes, I believe it should continue.
Right, okay. Again, thanks for your coherent answers. I love it. I think a few of you can answer this next one. I'm going to direct this to Eryn, but feel free to jump in if you have any views. What do you think a business should do if they struggle to function under a pandemic?
Get more furlough.
Just keep.
I'm sorry, Thom. Are you the economy?
No.
Well, what was the question again?
What advice would you give to businesses that are struggling to function under the pandemic?
I'd give them good advice as the economy. Best advice. Because it's really important that businesses succeed for me. That's kind of my whole deal. I really love businesses. I love passing money around one person to the next in a circle, triangles, money going everywhere. So I kind of need the businesses to be alive, and I need people to be alive as well, actually. So it's a bit of a businesses, people, which one should crash and burn? I don't know, but we kind of need them both.
I mean, all of that is also true for me, but just for different reasons.
What are those reasons, mate?
I like money. There's money throwing around all the time in my job. Not that I have a job anymore because I'm a retired boomer. And, look, I don't think it's my place, actually, to answer these questions because, I pay my taxes. I worked hard for my retirement, and I don't get to enjoy that anymore.
Just out of interest, Jake, when did you retire? How old were you?
I retired when I was 32 years old.
How much did your house cost?
My house cost threepence. My house cost threepence, and I earned that in 3 months. That's how important. That's how much and now it's worth £15 million.
When you said you earned that in 3 months, do you mean when you were 3 months old, or when you've been working for 3 months? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I was 3 months old. I worked hard right from the beginning, Johnny. That's the thing. That's what these young people don't know. It's all the bloody avocados that's gone to their heads. They probably bloody identify as a bloody avocado these days, don't they? That's the kind of thing that these young people are doing. But they just need to stick at it, and then they know that they don't need furlough. They just need to find ways to monetize.
To monetize what? Being an avocado.
That's the end of my sentence, Johnny.
Can't wait till Kirstie throws a brick through your window.
I'm not gonna lie.
And you know what? I'll use that brick to build a new house, and then I'll rent it out.
I will squat in that house before you find a tenant.
I never find my tenants.
That was really ominous. I don't know what that means.
And neither does Scotland Yard.
Okay, thank you very much, Jake. Valuable input. We've got a couple more questions for you now. So, whose fault is it if a business goes bust under a pandemic? Katie, what do you think about this?
The employees, of course, they're not working hard enough for their money. If they just put their bloody efforts in, like the Romans used to do, all of Alexander the Great, so he was a Greek, but I like those too, because I did classics. So Alexander the Great, his army followed him everywhere, and then as soon as they got to Persia, they were like, fuck this. And that's when everything went wrong. And that's exactly what we don't need in this situation. If businesses go under, it's the fault of the employees and the employers, the business owners who do everything, all of the hard work, deserve all of their bonuses. And that's all I've got to say, and it's their fault.
I'm not sure if I'm struggling to understand you because of the content of what you're saying or the way you're saying it, but it's
that's right, Boris Johnson. This is what you said is how you said it.
Either way, I'm angry. To wrap it up, just an open question to the panel. What role do you think a government should play in job security during these uncertain times?
I believe Boris Johnson just said "fuck the poor," but it clipped, so I don't know.
I've been very consistent on this. Fuck the poor.
The fact is, they're not playing any role, and as long as they're not going to play a role, the least they can do is stop taking our tax money. Let us set them on fire.
I enjoy playing roles. I've played plenty of roles. I played Mercutio, and yes, I'm all for roles. That's all I'll say. That's how I'll wrap it up. I am all for roles. So what are we talking about again?
That's fine, Pope. You've done good. Appreciate your input.
I think this is uncharacteristically earnest, but I do apologise. I've got a character that actually lines up to what I think for once. So I think the issue is that there's no reason that any business should go under during a fucking global pandemic, because the fact is that we're a generation who were taught that if we work hard we'll get what we want, because we were given that boomer mentality, and we're currently being told that we're not working hard enough. Don't blame the virus. It's absolute bullshit, and there's no excuse for this. But to lighten that, Pope pointed out that you need to show your portfolio to secure jobs as a way to sort of furlough. So this is the first picture of a horse that I ever drew. I'm going to be selling that, and we also
age shit.
Yes, and this is my not that one. This is my most recent one. He's a beautiful specimen.
He's got teeth like Sonic the Hedgehog.
That is because horses have terrifying human teeth. There's a reason for that. As you can see, his mane is running like this because he's in motion. That was really hard to convey. And as you can see, he really likes running. He's got a penis like my cousin Furlough when he takes it
He gets squibbly and two-dimensional. Video you sent me.
Yes, it is. And just like Furlough, if not administered properly, it will absolutely fuck you. So,
and he did. With his squibbly two-dimensional penis, cousin Furlough.
On the note of scribbly two-dimensional penis, I think we're going to end that there. Thank you very much. I genuinely don't know who to give the points to that round, so if anyone in the chat has strong opinions, please let me know. Otherwise, I may cop out and just give everyone equal points so that nothing changes.
Bribey, I made a wig out of a pot lid with brown tape on it.
I know.
Take some of my hair out when I just took it.
I was going to say, I was not looking forward to seeing you take that off of your hair.
And I will say that Jake did a phenomenal impression of my uncle. So
look, Tom, I just hope that this is over because I'm missing wire in the blood.
I'm just upset you didn't use your Virgin Wine subscription for this.
Yes, okay, we all know I've got a Virgin Wine subscription.
I know, but my favourite thing about the phrase Virgin Wines is it sounds like it's all alcohol free.
Yeah, well, interesting. Virgin Wines is also a review that I got at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival.
Give Jake the point.
Right. Well, we've had a comment from Dylan saying Boris should win. And
that's never true.
I fundamentally disagree.
I can't. Oh, someone else said Boris should win. Right. I can't.
How did we get this audience for our show saying Boris should win?
The secret is a parcel tape wig.
Well, what? Yeah, I'm gonna give the 5 points to Tom's team. Then I'm gonna give the runner-up 2 points to Kirstie's team because I think you all did a fantastic job in that. So at the end of that round, the scores are Tom's team on 12 and Kirstie's team on 10. So there is still everything to play for. Not that it matters.
Last time Tom got 10 points in the last round alone. It doesn't matter. We could be on 1 point and there's still all to play for.
It's almost like the scoring system changes based on my wins. I'm a terrible leader. Right. So this next game is game is essentially, but for copyright purposes, not scenes we'd like to see from Mock the Week, but just similar enough that it functions in exactly the same way. The difference being is that we're doing it over Zoom.
Scenes we'd rather fancy.
Scenes we'd rather fancy. So I'm going to give you just a couple of scenario ideas, and you've got to come in with your suggestions about what would be funny if that thing was. Good description, Jonny. Love it. You all know how the game works. So your first topic is rejected penguin jokes.
I can't believe the fishing quotas for penguins were part of the Brexit negotiations.
What's black and white and red all over? A penguin being maimed by a sea lion.
What's green and invisible? This cabbage, it was just too visual for them to like work into the penguin wrapper.
What's black and white but isn't red all over? A penguin who's gone through menopause. There we go.
Oh, God.
An Englishman, an Irishman, and a penguin walk into a bar, but it's okay because they're from the same household and are wearing masks. They have a nice socially distanced pub meal and a few pints, put the world to rights, and then leave at 9:45 to avoid the rush.
Aww.
That's quite a lot of text to fit on one chocolate bar.
It's a massive fucking penguin. It's like this big.
Or just really tiny font.
Why am I writing jokes for chocolate wrappers? Because apparently I'm too edgy for news, Jack.
What do you call someone who provides a service for no fee? A competition winner.
What's a penguin's favourite snack? I don't know, but help! The penguins are keeping us here against our will. Get help, please! Oh God, they found me! No, help!
Right, next one is
very, very quick. All prop comedy.
Go on.
All prop comedy.
All right.
It's too visual.
Okay, next one is right-wing jokes that weren't good enough for the BBC.
Spit an image.
What do you
the
call
emperor
them?
penguins don't like it here, then they can go back to Antarctica where they belong.
What do you call a male feminist? Probably Julian or something. I don't know. Why is global warming a great thing? Because a rising tide lifts all ships. That's a solid joke about the theory of trickle-down economics there.
I went to a gay speed dating night for people with my opinions. It was anti-mast for anti-mast.
What species of bird has the strongest right wing? The penguins! Stop them! They're going to take over! It's a true Cold War! This is our only chance to overthrow the Bird Reich!
Rock hopper penguins don't like it, then they can go back to the Galapagos where they belong.
How many Marxists does it take to screw in a light bulb? None. Revolutions will not work. Bayonets are the only way. Buy my bayonet light bulbs.
You can't see anything anymore except that and that.
That's just one of my bits.
Oh shit! Sorry.
just told much worse.
I mean, that does fit the brief of the question, to be fair.
Well, yeah, no, dear, fair point.
Hope you like being a right-wing comedian, Jonny. And
right, any more for that, or should I move on?
No, I think I'm fine.
Well, as long as Jake's fine.
So on does the white man's okay. The straight white man there got one up on you. I've had hardship too.
Look, I'm disabled and I'm just clinging on to that as my one thing.
I've got Crohn's disease and I'm a drug addict, so yeah.
I'm a recovering alcoholic. Oh, we're doing top trumps. I'm a recovering alcoholic with BPD.
These are definitely jokes you wouldn't get on the BBC. Right, next one is things you wouldn't hear in Brexit trade negotiations.
Short trade deal as Belgium is willing to give England free wood so they can build their city.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Okay. How about in exchange for free movement of people, we give you the North? We're not really doing anything with it anyway, so, have it.
We know that your trade agreement breaks international law, but you're not going to jail, but you will not be collecting £200.
Well, at least I don't have a girly name, Michelle Barnier.
Things you wouldn't hear, Jake. Things you wouldn't hear.
I was going to say, Nigel Farage has definitely said that.
Yeah.
We should put the fishing quotas on the penguins.
Look, if you budge on the Irish border, then Theresa said she'll give you all a blowy down by the bins at the back of Belgium.
Theresa, fucking hell, those were the days.
Yeah, my Jimmy Carr joke was too dated.
Okay, now the UK's gone, we can speak our real language. Quack, 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 that's what a penguin says. Can it just be the song by 10cc that goes, "Why can't we be friends"?
We already did that. We sent Cliff Richard to Eurovision with a song that was "Power to All of Our Friends." And, like, we did not win because we are a lame ass bitch country.
Right.
You're having a go at crabs. You're having a go at squaring up to everyone tonight.
Yeah. Have you met me?
and the votes for a trade negotiation with Belgium. Nil point votes.
Any more on that?
For the last time, it's pronounced Angela.
Okay, final one. Ineffective anti-COVID measures not suggested by the Tories.
Please go on.
No, I've done loads now.
Please welcome your new Secretary of Health and Social Care, Dr. Harold Shipman.
Pissing on your hands to wash them because technically we are sterile.
You have £50,000 to buy your children new lungs on the black market. Maybe you shouldn't have had kids.
The availability of COVID tests went directly to your credit score.
I feel like that's probably somewhat true. Given that, like, unless you're having your test done privately, you can't use it with the app or some shit like that. So, almost like definitely a correlation.
Put a glass over the virus and then slide a bit of card under it so you can throw it out of the country. Make the virus sit on a Super Nanny style COVID naughty step in, let's say, Norfolk.
Stay completely still. The coronavirus's height is based purely on movement.
Just do the plan from the end of the 2001 film Evolution where they kill the alien with shampoo.
That's literally what they've been doing, Jake.
We get everyone who's ill and have a battle royale situation. The winner gets the vaccine because there's only one.
Let the humans die of COVID. It will not affect our feathery bodies. Penguins away! That's me out.
Is there any more before I do final scores?
Mandatory
I
ass
think
tests.
I've got just kill them all. But,
luckily, the coronavirus will freeze to death, just like the poor this winter.
I like, yeah, good ending.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
It's a good ending in the same way that the end of I, Daniel Blake is a good ending.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Right, before we get more depressing, I feel like I'm going to wrap it up there. I've just sent our lovely Sam. Done, ready, cool. Before we announce the final scores, just want to say thank you all very much for watching. As I said, this is a pay what you want show, so if you are able to donate, we'd really appreciate it. Most comedians are currently not able to work in a capacity would normally, so any money that you do donate is going directly to the acts. So if you're able to donate even just a small amount, we'd really appreciate that. Without further ado, I'm going to announce the final scores once I find my spreadsheet. And we have Kirstie's team with 13 points, and Tom's team are the winners with 21 points.
Get in!
Yes!
Fuck.
Cash back.
And thank you very much to all of our guests tonight, everyone watching, and especially our wonderful. Oh, I like the font. It's just a font we've used for ages, but I've never seen numbers in it before, so it's good.
That's metal as fuck.
It is, I love it.
It's got a terrible name, the font, but it is a really cool font. I'm not going to say what it is because it's not a very nice word. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Give us money. And tune in for our next show on the 26th of October, where we'll be discussing the news events of the next 4 weeks, including 12 more U-turns from the government, inducing a dizziness in them that will hopefully lead to their collapse. The universe imploding, as the 912 only right-wing comedians in the country are all booked to do the same BBC panel show. And head of Ofcom will be put under investigation for flipping the V's out of his car at every single white person he passes. Thank you very much. We'll see you later.